The road to Calgary goes through Tisdale, Saskatchewan. This is the 2024 Viterra Scotties.
First chance for this particular lineup to go intact. She's throwing it good, makes the hit, and Stephanie Lawton will be the Saskatchewan champion.
Saskatchewan Championship Curling is brought to you by Viterra, SaskTel, Saskatoon Auto Connection, Singler Real Estate, Coldwell Banker Signature, Boston Pizza Restaurants of Saskatchewan, SaskTel Max TV, Curl Sask, and Real Cast Media.
The Recplex in Tisdale, Saskatchewan. That was 10 years ago. You saw Stephanie Lawton here in Tisdale winning her third of 6 championships. 4 as a skip, 2 as a second for Robin Silvernegger, who you saw in Estevan winning her third in the last 4 years. She comes here trying to defend a title against a really good field as we welcome you inside the Recplex to the 2024 Viterra Scotties. I'm Darren DuPont, and welcome to our coverage. It is going to be fun. We're into a new 2-pool format. Plenty of familiar faces and names, and plenty to get to tonight. The seeding as we look tonight. Nancy Martin comes in as the 1 seed. Skylar Ackerman, who actually leads all Saskatchewan skips on the points standings, sitting there as the number 2 seed. Way down at number 7, Robin Silvernagel, looking to defend the title, but she hasn't played a lot of events. It'll be a really, really fun week as we get into it here tonight. Sean Joyce, Susan Lang, and Kim Hudson are alongside, and we'll have all the coverage this week, guys.
Thanks, Darren. Yes, Sean Joyce here with the usual cast of suspects, Susan Lang, Kim Hudson. We're here at Tisdale. Susan and I have been here a couple of times before. I think, Kim, this is your first time doing the broadcast here. A number of changes in the Scotties over the last few years. We've seen the draw change a few times. We've had a few years of triple knockout. We're back to the 2 pools, 6 teams in each pool. And interesting, when we looked at it, these pools, there's no lopsided pool. There's no pool of death, as we call it. They're very evenly matched, Kim.
I agree. The pools are very, very evenly matched. We have no clear standout this year. In Pool A, we have our number 1 seed, Nancy Martin, and our number 4 seed with Shirley Orsted. And they were the ones that went hard at the start of the season. They're the ones who got all the CTRS points. They are where they are. Also in that pool, we have Anderson Barker, which is going to be our feature game later tonight. And rounding out the pool, we've got Amber Holland and Brooklyn Stevenson.
And Susan, that Pool B, no slouch either.
Absolutely. When you've got Skylar Ackerman, a really great young and up-and-coming team, they've had an excellent Bonspiel season. They're leading off this pool as the number 1 seed, number 2 overall. However, what's really interesting is Robin Silvernagel down there at the 7th seed is listed as 4th in this pool, but she is our defending champion and a multiple winner of this event. So I'm expecting really good things from that team this week also. The other 4 teams in that pool are also going to have a lot to say, though, about who's coming out into the playoffs on the weekend.
Yeah, when we were at lunch today, we had somebody asking us if we could pick a favorite, and all I told them was I could narrow it down to 12. It is that close. It's a good field. We're going to have all the action for you all week long. We'll have the Anderson-Barker game right after this, and Darren will be on the call. Kim and I with him with the play-by-play, and this year Susan is going to be keeping us up to date as best she can with all 3 of the other games going on here from Draw 1 in Tisdale.
I always say it's just a passion for the game. I like the game. It's not work for me. It's enjoyment. It's fun. I like getting together with my teammates and having some laughs and being competitive.
We put that quickly behind us last year. I don't think that we were disappointed in the season as a whole, just disappointed in that week. And now we feel strong, we feel ready, we're ready to go. This is what it means.
At Viterra, we believe in the power of connection. Our world-leading agriculture network connects producers and consumers to supply top-quality food ingredients each and every day. Our team takes great pride in working closely with farmers to help feed the world. It's something we've been doing for over 100 years. And as an industry leader, we're dedicated to playing a critical role in meeting the needs of a growing world. Because together, we're stronger and achieve more.
Good look at Sherry Anderson and getting set for our featured draw here on day one of the 2024 Viterra Scotties from Tisdale. Sherry Anderson on sheet 4 will be our featured game. Penny Barker on the other side. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. Let's meet the teams. It's brought to you by Singler Coldwell Signature Banker.
Hi, I'm Sherry Anderson. Our third is Patty Hersicorn. Second is Denise Hersicorn. Lead is Anita Silbernagel, and we curl out of the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon.
Hi, I'm Skip Penny Barker. The third is Chrissy Gamble, second Jenna Engie, and lead Danielle Zazinski. And we curl out of the Moose Jaw Curling Center in Moose Jaw.
So it'll be Barker and Anderson in our opening draw. We're underway here in Tisdale. Kim, Sean, it's going to be a lot of fun this week.
Should be. We've got a strong field, two pretty even pools here. I will say, and I saw a couple of changes, things that I wasn't aware of. They have to draw to the button twice now for Hammer. I was looking at that at practice. So both teams having to throw 2 draws to the button, and they measured both of them. Cumulative, and it's not just for the Hammer. We were talking about this before we went on air. Kim, this could be determining playoff berths as well. They have to, the draw to the button, they keep track of it for the entire week, and there's only one tiebreaker allowed at the end. So in a 3-way tie, he could be eliminated on draw to the button. That draw to the button is huge.
That's really huge, actually.
Just a tad.
Really hard not to say that. Really kind of is not a lot of fun. I hate to be eliminated on a draw to the button the entire competition, but that's the way it's set up. So that, as you said, very key.
Well, Sherry Anderson has the Hammer in end number 1, throwing the yellow stones. Penny Barker's rink in the red stones to start our opening end. As we welcome in our viewers all across the province and around the country.
Sometimes it's even other countries. Usually we have fans watching from Mexico and all our Canadian snowbirds from down in the States. And that was a nice shot in there by Anita. First game, don't know ice conditions, although they've practiced on it. They practiced on it twice already today, but great come around to start the game.
Well, it looks great.
The ice looks fantastic. From what we've watched so far in the practices, it looks keen, looks like it's got a great surface. It looks fantastic.
I was down before the game. Of course, we mic up the players beforehand, and we're miking all 4 sheets this year. We've got cameras on all 4 sheets. We hope to bring you a few more updates as well. But had a chance to talk to a few of them and said from what we were looking at in practice, it looks like it's absolutely lightning, and everybody agreed this is really fast.
And fast is good?
Fast is good.
Depends.
You know? Yeah.
If you're in the back of the 8 foot, not so good.
Yeah. Sometimes you can actually have it too fast. It's can be hard.
It can take some time to adjust to it when it's that much faster than what you're used to. Well, here we're in a situation where in a 16 pool, you don't have a lot of time to catch on to things. This has to happen quick. I guess, you kind of know coming in, you can afford 1 loss, but 2 losses could eliminate you. So here you got a matchup here of 2 former champions. In the past 6 championships, it's been Silvernagle 3 times, Barker twice, and Anderson once. Those are your last 6 winners. You got 2 of them facing off in the opening matchup. That doesn't happen very often. It's just the way the teams played out this year and the seedings the way it happened. You end up with 2 teams that this very easily could be a last game of the round robin when usually you expect your top seeds to be facing each other. So this is a key matchup.
And back to your point, when it is the first game and you're playing like this, and you can have a loss early, you got your backs to the wall already.
Back against the wall for the rest of the event.
It's very important at first game.
On this opening draw, 3 other games going on across all 4 sheets here in Tisdale, and Susan Lang is down at the ice level patrolling and has an update on what's going on tonight. Susan?
I'll be taking care of the other 3 sheets of ice here this evening. You've got an exciting draw. On sheet 1, we will have Jessica Mitchell playing Robin Silvernagle. On sheet 2, Cheryl Orsted taking on our number 1 seed Nancy Martin, while Michelle Anglot taking on and playing against Skylar Ackerman, our number 1 seed in the Pool B.
Good opening draw, so it will be a lot of fun to watch as we'll bounce around and bring you updates from the other 3 games going on, and sheets 1, 2, and 3 here throughout the night as Sherry gets a look at what she's got to deal with here towards the end of the opening end.
Yeah, and Sherry says, okay, that's enough. Time to clean up here a little bit. Out peeling the guard. And here we see Denise Hersicorn, who's second on the team. They had a change of player earlier this year.
They went with the youth movement.
I didn't.
So Denise in at 54 years old, the youngster on the team.
You're just sitting on that one.
You are so in trouble.
Couldn't even get through the first end.
I know. My guess is it's going to come out again a few more times this weekend.
Probably been planning that one since September, since I heard about it. So, and while we're carrying on with that, and Darren, you weren't with us last year, but the other recurring theme, the conversation with the Anderson team has been, they played 9 games last year at the Scotties. I think like 5 of them probably were broadcast games too, because they kept coming up into key matchups.
We did them a lot.
Yeah, might have been 6 even. So I did. We were looking at the draw on the drive here yesterday, and I pointed out to them the good news is there's only one way you can play 9 games this year, and that's tiebreaker in the final.
But that means you get to the final.
That means you're in the final. That's right.
But one thing the 2 pools does, every game matters right from tonight. Like so much more. There's no second, third, fourth, fifth chance. When you work your way through, these games matter, and you can't afford many losses.
Yeah, great for us, great for the fans. It's a little nerve-wracking for the players.
Yeah.
You'd like to have that one to get under your belt, but that doesn't really happen here this year.
Yeah, there's no warm-up.
No.
And especially when you look at 2 of the top teams here in the competition, you can never count out Sherry Anderson at any point, no matter how much time she's dedicating to this versus the seniors. She's always going to be somebody that's in the conversation.
Absolutely, yeah, always in the hunt.
She's playing in this, she's playing in the seniors. Is she eligible for Masters yet, or is she playing not eligible? Kim's doing the math on her fingers because she played with Sherry.
No, I know that Sherry just turned 60, so she...
but it was past the cutoff, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I was going to say it was in January, so she's not eligible for Masters till next year.
And she'd play in juniors, too, if you'd let her.
3 times the World Seniors, 10 times to the Scotties. I don't know that there's many more decorated than that. It's...
Yeah, Sherry and Michelle.
Yeah.
Both of them. Michelle Inglot, that's here as well. Probably have similar Masters, Scotties appearances.
I don't know who that is either. He looks familiar though. What? Can we hit that one without losing our yellow? I think so, yeah.
She's going to try and clear up some room out front.
Yeah, it's been an interesting first end. Getting right at it.
You know, and the interesting rock to me is that one hanging on at the back of the 12-foot, because there's a chance all 3 at the top of the 8 could go at some point in this end, and that rock at the back of the 12 might be the one that forces a score here.
Patty Hersecorn throwing third stones here for Sherry Anderson. Neatly peels away the guard, opens things up.
They'll be happy with that. I mean, I don't think they would have minded if it comes in and moves some of those rocks in the rings, but straight peel right now is good for them. They've got last rock here in the opening end.
Yeah, I think they were just playing the straight peel there.
You think they're playing it that way all the way?
I believe so.
I think they might have liked to clip their own on the way by, and then you kill that redstone. But lots of time to do that yet. Hard to tell from our vantage point.
Skip
if
stones.
Hit the red on the nose. Do all 3 of those go?
I actually don't think so, but I only think that from what I saw on the monitor. Exactly like you said.
It's going to be a little bit of drag if you hit it on the nose, too.
Yeah, but I don't...
You think it goes by?
You'll see, yeah.
Penny Barker, her first. Here in the first.
Tell you what, Penny has to guard because she can't afford to take the chance that it doesn't go by, that it goes by.
Yeah.
That rock at the back could cost her a deuce if she leaves the hit, and they do both go.
Some great sweep in here by the ladies in the first end.
It's Jenna Engie and Danielle Sosinski on the brooms. Drag it across the line. And so now what are you doing if you're Sherry with her first?
Looks she's looking at come around from the out-turn side and just try to make a play on shot stone with, I want to say, like a hack bumper weight.
Yeah, we haven't seen a whole lot, obviously, first game of the playdown, so we haven't seen a whole lot of rocks thrown on this ice and how much it curls, but obviously with that guard being so long, Sherry feels it'll come around enough and there'll be enough movement there to make a play on that back one, even though she can't see it.
Sherry Anderson out of the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon. Settling in for her first.
By the top one.
Can they get it past?
Great start.
And they'll knock that
maybe
right into the back of the 4-foot. Still, Penny Barker line 1 here.
Yeah, it gives her a chance to hit and roll behind the mess to sit a couple.
Absolutely critical to stay here, though, because now that red-yellow is lined up, and she can probably see half of it by the guard.
Yeah. Oh, I would think maybe even more than that, but yes.
And a nose hit's not great for you either. It leaves a double for 2.
That yellow Anderson rock, though, sitting in the back of the 12-foot. Is there a jam possibility back there if you're, looking at Penny Stone?
She's hoping to roll inside towards center line.
Yeah, not on this shot, but if she doesn't get buried, then Sherry's going to come in on her next. So final stone for Penny Barker here in the first. hit and the stick. She won't roll in behind.
Yeah, they were sweeping from the offside there to try to get to curl to get it to the inside. It is a very thin double if Sherry wanted to go after it.
I don't
Does
think
she even have to?
I was going to say, I don't think she needs to. I think she has an open hit here.
And Sherry's
just edge to edge for 2.
She's sitting, second shot.
Yeah. And the jam on the back shouldn't
Looks
matter.
like to be a factor.
Just all of it looks like she can see.
Yeah, edge to edge, I think, so.
Other side of the sheet, different turn than her first one, but very similar weight. That's what she threw on her first one.
So the final stone for Sherry Anderson. The final shot here in the first. Looking for a hit for 2.
Called the sweep on this early.
They're on it. Can they hold? They got to hold the shooter. Got to get it past. And we'll rub. And how far will it go? They'll drag it enough. It'll be a steal of 1. And they'll take a look.
Ooh, that could have been a steal of 3.
I think it's 2. But I wouldn't be surprised to see them measure it.
You hear them? It's 2. So
It's
Penny
2.
Barker with a steal of 2 here in the first against the veteran Sherry Anderson. What went wrong on the last stone? One end in the books here in Tisdale, the opening draw, the 2024 Viterra Scotties. Back with more after this.
Hi, this is Dustin Keltoff with Saskatoon Auto Connection. Have you heard about our unique VIP program? It's only $49 a year and gives you amazing discounts for all the vehicles in your household. 20% off labor, 10% off parts, 25% off tires, free windshield stone chip repairs, and much more. Complimentary vehicle washes and shuttle service, SGI accredited for auto glass, and some of the best auto detailing in Canada, making automotive easy, affordable, and honest for you at Saskatoon Auto Connection.
Second end just underway here. Penny Barker with the broom down, and I have to admit I missed the call. I don't know whether they're playing the guard or coming in, but with a 2-point lead, I would expect they're coming into the rings.
Looks like they're playing top 4.
A good start, though, for Penny Barker. The steal in 1.
For sure, and not only was that a good start, it was a steal of 2. It was almost a steal of 3 at one point. Sherry hits out a little bit fuller or a little harder, and came out of nowhere.
Well, in a new format like this, bringing this back and how important these games are, how much nerves would there be in the opening end?
Well, there is and there isn't. I mean, we're talking veterans here. However, there is one person that is not a veteran out there. Denise Hersekorn playing second for the Sherry Anderson team. This is their first time ever in a provincial Scotties, so maybe a little, but yeah, I'm still kind of going back to the swing in the first end. You're hitting for 2 and suddenly you gave up a steal of 2. That's a 4-point swing. That's
But she's got
huge.
the exuberance of youth working for her, so on that team.
But like we said, this first game is big.
To your comment, though, about the format, though, Darren, I don't think it's a big issue for these two teams. Sherry Anderson certainly has one under multiple formats. And I mentioned earlier, Penny Barker has won twice in the last 6 years, but she's won once under each format. She won under the triple, and she also won under the 6-team round robins. So it's not like they haven't seen this. Plus, for a lot of these teams that play on the Sask Women's Tour a lot of those play the small pool round robins. So they're very familiar with it. They're used to playing under the gun from the time they get there. It is a little different doing it in the arena with the crowd off to their right this end, left last end.
Well, it's a great crowd.
It is.
The opening ceremonies were fantastic,
They were
and that
beautiful.
kind of set the tone for the week.
Yeah, totally agree. Gotta love it when you're, I hate to say small town, Tisdale is missed. Maybe not a small town. I'm not sure. Is Tisdale a city? Anyway, whatever it is, we've got a ton of support, and it's great. You know,
When you're from Newdorf, everything's a city.
What's the it's 5,000, right? I thought it was 5,000.
5,000 is a city.
Yeah.
But
Tisdale would be right on the
borderline.
Borderline.
Anyway, the stands are packed. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it really is. There will be a lot of great action throughout the week as we'll bring you coverage of every single draw throughout the Viterra Scotties. Featured games of the night will be broadcasted on television like tonight's game all across Saskatchewan. And every game available, the Curl Sask web stream, so make sure you find those. Follow all the Curling Sask, the Curl Sask social media feeds for all the links.
And if you're a fan of one of the teams in particular, a lot of these teams have their own Facebook pages, and I'll guarantee you if they're going to be the feature game on the next draw, they will post to let you know where to find it.
Sherry Anderson's ranked with the Yellowstones. The Hammer here again in 2.
Should have asked them if they chose color just to match their jackets.
Makes it easier.
Yeah, it sure does.
Even the same shade of yellow. Boy, they're sure nice jackets that the Anderson team is wearing.
Nice touch from Denise Hersikorn coming around the corner guard into the 12-foot.
Came out the other side. So plenty of curl out there, which is nice.
And we'll get some attention from Penny.
We also get a good look at the fans in the stands there too.
That's a great look at the crowd tonight. Making their way out here in minus 21 degrees.
Which minus 21 is balmy now after
Yes.
minus 40 for
Right.
a week.
The second for Penny Barker, Jenna Engie. Going to come around the outside. We'll remove it, and it will just work its way outside of the 12-foot. Then you see that angle, and you wonder what the overhead of that stone looks like. But I don't think it's touching.
No, I don't think so. I have to admit, I was being a little sidetracked there. I love the look that the coach of the Barker team there, Mark Lang, sitting behind with his Scottish tam on his
Yes.
head.
We'll have to see if we can get a shot of that on the broadcast for you.
I feel fairly certain that Mark wore that, counting on us getting a shot of it during the broadcast. Didn't he have the fedora a year or two ago as well?
Yeah, and he had that really nice knit sweater with the big curling rock on the back too.
That's right.
Very fashionable family.
We never bothered to ask, and we could have because we had her on the... we never asked whether Sue picked out his clothes for him or does she let him dress himself?
Christy Gamble. So we're into third stones here in the second.
Speaking of family, that would be Mark Lang's daughter playing third.
That's a curling family through and through.
Isn't that right?
It is. We'll be at the Tankard in a couple of weeks, and Matt will be presumably playing unless he gets called to the hospital, as we understand. They've got baby on the way.
Expecting.
So, yeah.
Congratulations. Are in order. That snuck all the way through, just sailed into the back of the 12-foot.
Yeah, slid right back to the back 12. So the Anderson team still trying to manufacture a way to get 2 points this end. Looking at playing the freeze here.
Patty Hersecorn with her first of 2 here in the second. Trying to bring this right in.
Yeah, they'd like to freeze it
Sit
right on
it
the
on
back one.
top, but
Over
it's-
curled.
Sit's catching a piece of the button, but lying 1 for now. Not quite what they were hoping for.
No, but there are a few rocks in the back that they'll have to navigate here.
So Penny will remove it, so she's not worried about peeling one of her own out if that is the worst case scenario.
That's right. In fact, that would almost be helpful right now, so they don't jam on it.
Final stone for Christy Gamble. And they're on it right away.
This might be a plan B. This is over curled on them.
And it did jam.
The plan B might have come a little late. I don't know that they could ever have chipped it thin enough to get it over the top of that one, though. There wasn't enough separation.
So now Anderson's got something to work with.
Very much so. Not only is she sitting shot, she's got a corner guard go around. So.
Well, 3 is in play because you make the come around. Penny's got to hit the open one.
Sink a second around the corner, and suddenly, just like you said, perhaps 3.
Final stone for Patty Hersecorn. Third stones here. Trying to bring this around the corner guard. Last time they came around, it did over curl.
Yeah, I heard 8-9 out of the sweepers, which means it's maybe a tad heavy, although it looks like it's coming down.
And it will settle in for second shot.
Oh, no double there.
Okay, that's all right. Did you hear me? Yeah, I did. Yeah. 14-6. I had to put the rudder out a bit on that one. I know, it looked like they were coming low. Oh, you can't hammer it. That's okay. Yeah, the first one's just over curled at the end.
Penny's going to remove the shot stone.
Well, I know, but they were saying.
Can't really roll broomside. She'd risk jamming it.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think
you know, content or kind of stuck with hoping to just leave him at 2.
Yeah, exactly. You're almost conceding
at this point,
2.
Tim. You have no choice. But you still have to be a little careful with this one. She jams, 3's into play. Even if she jams it, rolls it out, but rolls in behind cover. Sherry's going to follow it down, and 3's still in play. Really what she's looking for here is a nose hit. You need to make Sherry play this stone and not leave her a chance to roll behind cover at the same time.
First stone for Penny Barker, and they're on it 2.
Has to stick around. Not
and
going
it won't. It'll spill out the back.
Which gives the chance to get around that corner guard. And as you said all along, Sean, 3's in play.
She's talking about just playing the safe deuce, though.
Oh, looks like you're right.
Yeah, I think that looks good. It'll finish nice.
How much does giving up the steal of 2 make the decision one way or the other?
Now?
If you're down only 1, are you more apt to take the risk and go for 3?
Actually, it would be the opposite. The fact that she gave up a steal of 2, I'm surprised she's not coming around and trying to get 3.
Yeah. maybe the only thing holding her back here might be the fact that the first one's behind the tee line. So if you come around again and you make it, let's say, the old phrase, too good, Penny Barker follows it down, sits on the corner, and you're forced. Whereas she goes to the open side here, again, Penny's got to go after the one she can see. You're going to have a shot at 2, and the game's going to be tied up. Now, if that first rock's in front of the tee line, where the chances of a corner freeze aren't good anyway, that might change the call. Then she might be going after the 3. And it's not like 3's impossible this way either. If you manage to freeze this right on the face, it's not a gimme
True
to
enough.
get it out.
Yep.
Hard line, D. You gotta go. You gotta go.
Trying to drag it all the way there on Sherry Anderson's first stone.
Yeah, great sweeping.
Line's good.
Step.
And they're full 8 foot.
Wasn't just, got to go because they knew it wasn't going to get the freeze, but if you leave that a foot and a half higher, there's a crosshouse double there.
And that's what they're looking at to see if they can hit and sit on top of that second shot stone.
Yeah, it'd be really flat right now. I mean,
Yeah.
Penny is one of the better hitters here, and she could certainly throw the up weight, but I think they got that deep enough that it's a little too flat. But that berm, I got to think she's giving it a go, though.
I was just going to say, they're certainly playing it, though.
Well, and what's the risk?
Yeah.
The risk is you don't get it, and it's an open draw
It's
for
For 2.
Yeah.
That's right.
There's also the outside possibility, and we've all seen it happen. It's usually the other team does it to me, where they play this long hit a roll across, and they actually get half underneath the rock in the back at the 12 foot, but they're still sitting shot rock. And I mean, that can happen.
Final stone for Penny Barker. Here in the second inning without the hammer, the 2022 provincial champion. She's got the hit, and it'll stick.
Yeah, when they made the call of curl, I thought they were looking at the roll. No, they were looking at making sure they didn't dead stick the jam at the back.
So it'll be an open hit for 2 for Sherry Anderson to tie things up here in our opening draw. Sherry, you made it all the way to the semifinals last year, lost to Robin Silvernagel, the eventual Scotties champion in Estevan.
That was the 9th game of their
That was
weekend.
their 9th game.
They played long and hard that weekend. That week.
With Anita playing against her daughter.
That's right.
That is the one thing. There is no taking the long way in the event like this with the pool format.
Well, again,
I mean, there's the tiebreaker.
I told them if you played the tiebreaker, you could play 9. But that's the only way.
Final stone in the second inning, Sherry Anderson. On the broom, hit, and they'll stick around. And we'll tie things up. So Sherry gets her deuce here in the second. We're tied at 2 in the opening draw. The 2024 Viterra Scotties from Tisdale.
This is it. It all comes down to this rock. The hours in the gym, the weeks away from my family. This is what I've been training for. And all those voices trying to tear me down, I'm here to silence them. We've given everything we have for a chance to get everything we want.
When you buy a lottery ticket in Saskatchewan, your money really goes a long way. More than 12,000 sport, culture, and recreation groups receive funding from Sask Lotteries every year. Everyone wins.
Viterra's world-leading, fully integrated agriculture network connects producers and consumers to supply sustainable, traceable, and quality-controlled agricultural products. We'd like to recognize Viterra's ongoing support to curling in Saskatchewan through funding youth and school clinics, as well as other programs, and of course, the Women's Provincial Championship. Thank you, Viterra, for everything you've done and continue to do for curling in Saskatchewan.
To the third end we go, tied at 2. Penny Barker and Sherry Anderson in our opening draw here at the 2024 Viterra Scotties. And why not? We got the semi-finalist, I guess, and Sherry Anderson from last year on the highly decorated rink, and the 2022 provincial champion, and Penny Barker. And great featured match for our opening draw coverage here in Tisdale.
Something we haven't talked about yet, and I was paying attention on that one. The call was for a guard. That overcurled on them a little bit, and it's off the center line. Now, we haven't seen it come into play yet, but also playing the no-tick zone rule here for the second full season. I think it was played for half the season the year before that. So you'll see that a lot with these teams. It's not just now a question about lobbing that guard over the hog line without last rock. They want it touching that center line so the opposition can't move it.
And that's the evolution to the rule, to the free guard zone. Now for the first 5 stones, if it is on or touching that center line, it can't be removed from the center line. So that'll be another wrinkle for sure. They were getting so good, and they've gotten so good at being able to just move the stones where they want them.
That's right.
Phenomenal.
But you know, again, limited exposure to it so far, even as a viewer, as a commentator. What I've noticed, though, when you touch that center line, a team that's not playing the tick, they're just going to play to come around it. Now they take a little more ice. And so maybe they don't bury it quite as well as they did before, because they can't afford to rub it on the way by. So it changes. It's a little thing, but it's not a little thing.
Interesting. Penny Barker has the hammer here in the third. Danielle Sosinski is the lead for Team Barker.
Yeah, and we see that Danielle slipped a little bit deep behind the tee line with her first. But there's room here now to sit 2 around that one in the top 12 that the Anderson team just put there.
Jenna Engie and Christy Gamble on the brooms.
Again, some good sweeping. Look at the curl in the ice. Tells us we're in for a fun weekend, that's for sure.
We'll bring it right around and almost completely buried.
Bury one in the top 8 foot around the rock from the top 12. So, yeah, definitely some good movement here.
And now they've lined up for Sherry. And
yep, the old double run back.
And this is where it's good to have some youth on your team to make these.
Okay, that's going to get tiresome.
I was just going to say, though, the double run back is old school, isn't it? Like lining these up and going after it?
Yes and no. I think with the free guard zone and even the no tick, you see a lot of these now.
Just get the one and moves over on the corner now. So Penny will come around.
Yeah, coming around the corner now to sit 3.
Jenna Engie throwing second stones for Penny Barker. And you're right, we've seen it right from the opening end, how much movement there is.
Yeah, both ways, like outside in, the inside out. Looks like it doesn't move a whole lot when you pick your weight up, but
yeah, a little heavy to get it right around.
Not only does it move both ways, it looks like it might be downhill both ways too, because there's been a lot of rounds
it does
the tee line. It's fast.
You said it was fast, and I didn't quite understand if that was a good thing or a bad thing, and I guess it can be both.
It's a good thing once you've got the handle on it, but when you've been playing your regular club games or your Bonspiel games and it's maybe a second slower, it does take a little time to adjust your leg drive and get it, you know, that muscle memory that this is how hard I need to push out.
Which makes it tough in the first game of provincials when you've got to be able to make the finesse and have that. Because you're still trying to figure out that really, really light kick.
So they end up removing their own yellow. Didn't get the one in the 12-foot there on the back right of your screen. But it does open things up a little bit.
Open things up, but keep in mind Barker's got hammer here, so they're throwing to sit 4 here. with last rock.
Looking to open things up, yeah, on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
You have to be a little careful with where you place this one, though. There's a double on the 2 open ones now, and you're going to roll towards the guards. You'd hate to put this in a spot where you just line it up that if you make the double, you're going to make the triple and sit buried.
Inevitably, that's what happens with 3, 4, 5 stones in the rings. There's going to be a double somewhere or a triple. But they'll stack them up, call it a square.
I think they're good there. I wouldn't want it to come much deeper.
Yeah,
she makes the double now. She's probably got to roll behind that rock.
And now Sherry's got to be thinking, throw 1 to get rid of 2.
Yeah.
Almost every throw now.
Oh, for sure.
Well, it's like she said, you got to stay here. Even if, like she said, you make the nose hit. They nose again. Now you've got a double into that one that was just thrown. It'll be up 2 rocks higher. So, yeah, you'd love to eliminate 2 at a time, but as long as you make them play something,
yeah,
where they're going to have to leave you doubles, they give you enough chances at doubles you can get out of this.
They'll get 1, but they
there's that
won't be able to
rollout.
run it straight back. So still, Penny Barker lying 3.
And that same problem. Where do you put the next one?
Yeah, and I was just going to say, now you're going to sit 4. Where do you put this? So looking at spreading them out.
And if you're Sherry, at what point do you ever even consider a freeze to something?
Nope.
To try and you can't risk it, right?
No. But that's the issue here. She's almost, in this case, trying to leave her a double on the 2 stones that are open. Because she makes that double, you hit for 3. That's why she's playing away here. I was trying to look. That the sheet that they're playing on here, sheet 4, is the farthest one away from us. So it's really hard to see the angles, but I'm not so sure you
she
can't.
Spread those out pretty good.
No, it's the rock that's piece behind the guard. Like there's a quarter of it open. You could almost play the double, but you're not going to flirt with that against 4.
You can tell by the way Sherry's kind of motioning here. She's not real happy with the way things are.
I don't like that.
Make a double.
Roll on the center one.
Yeah, you don't like to hit the center? Come here, Tubby.
Now let's hear what they have to say.
This is one of those ones where I've done some coaching in the past and have had junior teams where a situation is like this and they call me out with a timeout and say, what do you like? I said, I'd like to be thrown red.
Even if we hit that one.
And she hit, then I had a chance for a double to hold him to 3.
Not an option.
Trying to roll, then you don't set up.
No, they never let you change colors in the middle of the game.
There's no roll off the middle one into that.
Sherry sounding a little frustrated already.
Like if you nose it and roll a foot, and if they nose, then I've at least got a double or a hit and roll.
Nose on the outside one.
It's a 10. Right there, it's good.
So what did they settle on?
They're going to hit, but they need to stick around is what they need to do. And they want to roll towards center to set it up so that at least Sherry's going to have a shot at a double with her next one.
And the unspoken part of that is you have to roll a little bit or they're still sitting 2 and they might ignore the stone or even just freeze to it. You got to roll to get a good piece of the 8-foot here.
Yep. Whoa. Easy. Whoa.
15-9.
Straight, clean.
Yeah.
You want to license? I so got it. Let's go.
And that will sit, roll in just a little bit.
Boy, I don't know.
And Penny's going to remove it. Or at least that was the initial thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is sitting 3rd shot. The final 3rd stone here for Christy Gamble. Trying to finish off a big end here in the 3rd.
She wants to stay out there. She doesn't want to roll the ward or roll and leave an easier double.
It will roll in hit off their own, but it separates them a little bit. Did it hit it enough?
Fortunate in the way they did it is that they left the double just about as hard as they would have if they'd hit on the nose. They still separated them by about the same amount.
I like the hit and roll. Stop! 10? Just a 10. It doesn't go crazy.
Looking at playing the hit and roll across, either a hit and roll on top of the one on center line. If you hit it really flat, you can maybe get all the way to the other side. I'm not sure she's throwing the weight for that.
Yeah, I think she's just looking to roll in front of the one on center and
Playing the freeze with the turn we don't haven't thrown. Yeah, this is what it was. Try to get it over in front of there. Hopefully we can hold them to three. Middle one. Doesn't go crazy here.
it'll be high enough in front of it she can't roll frozen, but like she said, if you're dead lined up in front of it, in order for Penny to pass it by the back one, she probably loses her shooter and she's only going to get 3.
Only 3.
That's the best you can do right now.
We're into Skip Stones here in the third and Sherry Anderson's first. Trying to limit the damage. The hit, little roll, and that was almost exactly how she drew it up.
Yeah,
just
nicely
not quite
done.
Enough. I think she's left room to get it by.
But, oh, for sure she has. As long as she doesn't just give her a wall by rolling onto the other side here now.
But does bring the action more together, brings the rocks together, which
exactly
gives her something, more to think about with her final stone.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to roll too far. You roll, let's mirror that. If she rolls to the other side of the button where that is, that's awful close to a triple. Boy, if you were really greedy here, if you could ever hit this just on the nose and wiggle that back one all the way behind, might not even leave a double.
Well, for Penny Barker, who won the 2022 provincials, trying to get back on top of the province and back to the Scotties in Calgary. Tough opening draw. Great opportunity here in the third to put some points on the board and create a little breathing room. They're on it right out of her hand.
This is really curling. She's rolling.
Going to get a piece of it, lose the shooter as well, but just got a piece. And
well, this is interesting now. You play the open one, you're giving up 3, chances are. So the Anderson team is saying, well, maybe let's, it is an option to try to come around, but nope, they're going back to playing this.
Played your last shot hoping to hold them to 3. I don't think you're giving them a shot for 4 here.
How much is she trying to roll this
they
left?
Did talk about it. How much what?
How much is she going to try and roll this left to at least make it a little more difficult? Is it even there?
She doesn't have a ton of room where she can roll or she won't even be shot rock
Yeah,
anymore.
she rolls. They've got the draw for 3.
But you don't need to be shot rock. You just need to be second shot rock.
Yeah.
To at least make them think about just taking 2. I know that's kind of a 2 would be a dream at this point, right?
At this point, yeah.
Final stone for Sherry Anderson.
Just clean. Whoa! Just curl! Curl right to it. You gotta go. Good.
Right on the nose. And so it'll be an open hit for 3 for Penny Barker here in the third. Points not at a premium in the opening draw. They're on sale. 7 points potentially will be on the board through 3 ends.
Makes it fun for us.
Absolutely.
Could be a whole game in some teams.
If this is any indication of what the week's going to be like into the weekend, it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's right. Hold on to your hats. We're in for some fun this weekend.
So Penny Barker, the final stone here in the third, an open hit for 3. She stole 2 in the first. Gave up 2 in the second and comes right back with hammer and then perfect hit for 3 to open up a 3-point lead here through 3 ends of play in our opening draw in Tisdale.
Rough end for the Anderson team. See if they can bounce back.
Well, lots of action left. 3 ends in the books. If anybody knows how to climb out and has the experience, it'd be Sherry Anderson. So long way from being over here tonight. Back with more. Tisdale is our host, the 2024 Viterra Scotties on the air.
We know farming isn't an 8-to-5 business. That's why we want to give you the tools to do business anywhere, anytime. With My Viterra, you have a powerful tool at your fingertips to stay connected no matter where you are. Create online contracts, receive customized alerts, view your account information, and access grain prices in real time. Talk to your rep today and find out more about how you can harness the power of My Viterra, keeping you connected in real time. This is My Viterra.
So you're a pizza person, but you're married to a wing person, and your kids are salad people? You can't pick your fam, but with over 50 menu items to choose from, you can make them all happy. Order today and enjoy Boston Pizza at home.
Penny Barker with 3 in the third, opening up a 5-2 lead over Sherry Anderson. Underway here in Tisdale on our opening draw, the opening night of the 2024 Viterra Scotties. Full action here across all 4 sheets. Back on the air tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. as we get to full days and 3 draws a day. It'll be a lot of fun.
Nothing but multiple points up on the board so far, but it's quite the contrast how Barker got her 2 scores. The first end being the steal. Anderson's team played well in the first end. They had a shot for 2. They just missed the last shot. That last end, though, they struggled.
I agree. And actually what I was thinking is even in the first end, the Anderson team was chasing. Yeah, they did have a shot for 2, but they were always sort of chasing in the first end and here too. Which tells you that the Barker team has put their rocks in some pretty good positions.
They were chasing, but in that, it wasn't an uncomfortable chase. They had second
I
shot
agree.
the whole end. They had fourth sitting at the back. They had things set up. They were just they just needed one shot. And as it turned out, she had a shot with the last one for 2 and just missed it. But this last end, the third end, they had their struggles and they need to have a bounce back end right away in a short competition. And again, we're gonna say that a lot this week.
Danielle Sasinski, the lead stones for Penny Barker, the curl out of the Moose Jaw Curling Club. Just trying to catch a piece of that center line. And will it settle on there? I think so.
Almost, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. You wanted to guard shot stone on the other side. If you touch center, they can't touch it on the way by. And I'm not sure if it's touching center, and I didn't see anybody really look that close. It's.
I think it is.
I think it is too, but
because you always have to remember it is the overhead look of where it lines up, and it's something we all are doing at home. And I know everybody watching, they see different angles, and then they try and take clues from one angle versus the other. And we never truly get the direct overhead that the players do when they're down on the ice.
Yeah, I've said for years you kind of have to defer to the players when they look at it. Because the other thing is, the guys that come in and mount these cameras for us, they do the best job they can, but they might not be perfectly over center. Plus, when you're looking at angles in the house, you look over top of the rock. You don't look from the pinhole, which is where the camera's
That's where we're looking, right. We're over top of the button.
So our angle can be a little misleading.
This is good right here. Up straight.
Jenna Engie throwing second stones here for Team Barker.
Straight, straight, straight.
This team lost to Sherry Anderson in the playoff qualifier last year at the Scotties in Estevan. When I think about that, obviously I wasn't there with you guys in Estevan, but you know, the great venue that was for the Scotties and what it is for that community and the Estevan Bruins and the Saskatchewan Junior League. And this you know, facility here in Tisdale, while it's a little bit older, another wonderful Saskatchewan facility with the school attached and the library and the Tisdale Trojans who play out of here and the Saskatchewan Under-18 AAA Hockey League and everybody else. There's so many great facilities like this across the province, and new ones popping up like the Merlis Belcher in Saskatoon. Obviously the Estevan rink is new. Melville has a fairly new facility.
Yeah, there's some great facilities to actually host these provincials in. And last year was the men's and the women's together. Well, one right after the other in Weyburn. It was great.
Well, and it gives Curl Sask an opportunity to have more of these big events inside the arenas. This is what they'll play at the Brier and the Scotties. The Scotties coming up in Calgary. Obviously, the Tankard's going to be in the curling club. But what's the biggest difference for the players when you're playing in a curling club versus, you know, in an arena like we are this week?
Well,
do you want the straight answer or the sarcastic answer?
I want both.
The other team's fans can spit on you in the arena, but
it's great playing where you have the fans right there where you can hear and see them all. And the other interesting thing, too, is playing on arena ice. There's quite a difference playing on arena ice compared to playing on club ice. So a lot of these players in provincials, you want to play on arena ice to get ready for the nationals, which is always on arena ice.
Yeah, I guess that's the big question is, what is the difference in the ice?
People don't bring as many cowbells in the curling club either.
Oh, he's so quick.
I know.
Start of the weekend. We'll see how quick you are by about Friday.
There was the cowbell. I think I just heard
right on cue. Yeah, there would be very few curling clubs that would have room for stands inside the arena, right?
There are a few, and
There's a few.
Like Assiniboia built their club specifically for that purpose. They built bleachers right into it. And there are a few clubs that have had, we've been to Prince Albert, where because they've got a larger facility, they put
can bring in
bleachers
temporary.
We're going to be at Newtana for the Tankard in a couple of weeks, and they're going to have some bleachers out because it's an 8-sheet rink, but they only need 4 for the event. So there will be some bleachers out there as well.
But the ice itself.
The ice is, I mean, the conditions are different. It's not all about ice anymore like we used to think it was. It's got as much or more to do with the rocks. So, you know, Newtana, it's my home club, so maybe I'm biased here, but they will be able to very closely replicate arena conditions as far as the play is concerned. But the atmosphere is different. And I mean, even to little things like, yes, the scoreboards are back there, the curtains are back there, the sheet's the same length. But the first time you get out there, it doesn't look like it's the same length. It looks like it's farther down to the other end. But it's just optical illusion, right?
Yeah, and I know what you implied but didn't say, Sean, is a few years ago we used to always think that the arena ice had so much more curl than what we would be playing on club ice, which necessarily is not the case anymore. And as you were saying, I think we've come to realize more of that is the rocks than the ice. But what you also didn't say, too, is at Newtana, there'll be tons of curl for the men there that weekend for sure.
But it is. You're right, Sean, about, you know, the big deal feel. Is that a weird way to say it? When you walk down into the arena and on the carpet and between the sheets of ice and everything else, it has a different feel, right?
Yeah.
Than being in a club.
Yeah.
And it definitely feels. I mean, this is not unlike being, you know, at a national event. I mean, the venue's a little smaller, but not a lot, especially when you're in places like Esteban that have more seats.
Yep. Yep, no, for sure. And that's what they're trying to replicate here as well, is that you get that feeling so that it's not so new and foreign when you go to a national.
Into third stones here at the end of third stones.
Have a bit less.
A lot less in play here in the fourth, but
they've got some corner guards to work with here, though. Although they're starting to run out of a bit of time. 3 stones left, but going around a corner.
Not Sherry Anderson's first rodeo, though. And the old strategy is when you're trying to score 2, you'd love to be coming in on third's last rock. Well, here they are, third's last rock. But that had a lot of room by the guard.
Yeah, a lot of room. It'll rest full 8 foot right on the tee line.
Yeah, almost all open, actually. There you can see.
That's where Anita's didn't.
Patty had said, and there she's saying it again, she would have liked less ice on that shot. It's one of those things that happens in the first draw of the event. This is only the second time they're going this direction. Well, third, I guess, if you count the practice session. They haven't got the whole sheet read yet because, of course, so much of the practice anymore is geared towards that draw to the button because, again, we've talked about it.
Very
that draw to the
important.
hammer, that draw to the button before the game, it's not just for the hammer. It could determine tiebreakers or possibly even eliminate a team in this event. It is so important. So much of that 10-minute practice session is geared towards draw to the middle. Even the practice that they had earlier today was probably geared a little bit towards draw to the middle. So now here in the fourth end, you need to make a draw to the corner, and you don't really know where to put the broom yet. It's a bit of a guess.
Penny will hit and stick, even roll a little more open. Was it open enough to let Sherry hit and roll underneath?
Yeah, it sure is. And that's exactly what they're playing.
Into skip stones here on the fourth end.
Penny might have liked to roll a little farther still. This is a fairly short roll to get buried. It is still that same problem. It's that going from the inside out that you haven't played a lot. You saw Sherry even in the third end. She was talking about the turn on her first one. They talked about playing at the hacks. They talked about would she play the other turn. She said, well, do I really want to play a turn I haven't played yet in the third end? So you had to play the outside in and come across it. Same thing here. Because of where the guard is, they have to play the inside out. But she probably doesn't have a great feel for how this is going to run yet, this early in the competition.
So Sherry Anderson's first stone here in the fourth.
It's looking close.
She hit, and will it stop in time? So it got behind.
No.
It came out the other side.
Well, and left a short little angle run on the red.
One of those, you can hit it anywhere on the high side on that top red. You'll eliminate.
And there'd be nothing else to consider.
No, I mean, first thought is perhaps you might want to try to come through the hole, but that's very difficult.
Yeah.
Here, you hit anywhere from a nose to a quarter, a third on the other side, you're going to eliminate. So, no, not a whole lot to consider.
Especially in the position that Penny's in.
Especially
up
when you're three up.
Fourth end.
Yeah.
You eliminate the risk.
Yeah. A little scoreboard dictated as
Because
well.
if you're trying to come through that hole, you might pick your own out.
For sure. Yeah.
And now...
Yeah, chances are you're going to roll out, and the rock you're running back is going to roll out. It's going to be an easy blank for the Anderson team, but...
The thinner you can hit this, the better. I don't think there's any way you ever hit this too thin to go across the top.
Yeah.
If you can hit a quarter, you probably stick it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Final stone for Penny Barker.
You got to hit it, though.
And she's got to hit it, and she won't. So a break for Sherry Anderson. She catches a break. And it will be an open draw for 2.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that's okay. I can probably give you like 14-7.
Are they thinking that might have caught something? It looked like it did just hang out there. I don't know if it...
I mean,
it didn't.
I can't say I've often seen a rock catch something and fall back.
Hard stop.
Could have been just, and you see this a lot. So many of these teams, especially the teams that play a bit on tour, they're used to the aggressive rocks that have been conditioned for competition, and they kind of learn, I hate to call it a set, but that's almost what it is. Their release is a little bit back at the very end, and maybe she was just a little back too much, and it just straightened it right out.
Yeah, you can't hurt it.
And just an open draw for 2. It leads this into the rings. And just like that, Sherry Anderson answers a 3 from Penny Barker with 2 of her own.
That kind of evens out the shot in the first end when they had the shot for 2 and just missed it. They got that one handed back. Now they just got to figure out how they're going to get that 3 back.
Well, we're close again. 5-4. Penny Barker will have the hammer when we come back through 4 ends of play in our opening draw, the 2024 Viterra Scotties in Tisdale.
I come from an Indigenous background myself. My company wants to learn more about that. Tisdale's given me the opportunity to join one of our network groups. We get to plan things with other Crown corporations or with other companies throughout the city. Something as great as our National Indigenous Peoples Day. For me, that's why I'm so proud to be a part of this team.
Hi, I'm Shannon, and we're here at the brand new Bike Tricks electric bike showroom in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. It's grand opening, so we're gonna head inside and talk to some Bike Tricks customers. Let's go.
I chose Bike Tricks because of the reputation. I know people who have Bike Tricks bikes, and I know that it's a local company, which I like to support local. They're great bikes.
Come down and see the team here. They're really a great team of people. Check out the bikes, go for a ride.
Hi, this is Dustin Keltoff with Saskatoon Auto Connection. Did you know we've moved to a massive new location in Sutherland? Let me show you around. We've combined sales, service, glass, and detailing into one automotive superstore. Whether you want to fix, maintain, or spruce up your ride, or trade it in for something fresh, we've got the team, the services, the inventory, and the financing to help you with any of your automotive needs.
4 ends in the books here. Darren Dupont, Kim Hodson with you, Sean Joyce, and the 4th member of our crew is with us as well. Susan Lang is with us, keeping her eyes on the other 3 sheets, including our defending champ and Robin Silvernagel on the ice tonight.
It's a tremendously exciting game out here. Jessica Mitchell, though, has no fear against playing against the provincial champion, and she's been off to a very strong start. Just took 2 in the 4th end here to take a 4-2 lead, but they've looked very strong, and Silvernagel's team, a little shaky to start, but they're getting stronger as this game has gone on. Going over to our next game, a little bit more wide open here. Shirley Orsted take on the number 1 seed, Nancy Martin. Nancy's been in control of this game, but Shirley's team is playing well. It's 3-1 for Nancy right now, but Shirley Orsted has the hammer here, playing the 5th. Then moving over to the Englot-Ackerman game. This has been a pretty wild game in the sense that the Ackerman team has controlled most of the ends, particularly at the front end. If it was not for 2 very clutch draws by Stephanie Schmidt, who throws 4th rock for the Englot team, she made a beauty in the 3rd end to prevent a steal of 3 and get the single, and then made another big draw in the 4th end to hold Ackerman to the single point, and Ackerman now has her 2-1 lead into the 5th end.
Nancy Martin, last year in Estevan, her only loss was in the final to Robin. So, almost on a collision course, those two. Maybe we see a repeat, but, Susan mentioned Robin Silvernagle down to Jessica Mitchell out of the Nutana in Saskatoon. Maybe this is her year. Been knocked out of that C event each of the last couple of years and just hasn't been able to break through. And when you're playing the defending champ in the first draw, if you get a win in that opening draw against Robin, that can set you up with confidence for the week.
Yeah, you nailed it. That's exactly what can happen. It's a big confidence boost to win this first game. And as we were saying already, you named about 3 or 4 teams right there. Any one of these teams can win this year. There's no real clear-cut favorite here, so it's going to make for a fun week.
Shirley Orsted, that's the Moose Jaw rink that are playing Nancy Martin, and what an opening for them. They've got Nancy Martin tonight, and then they've got to wake up in the afternoon. They've got to play Sherry Anderson tomorrow. That's not easy. It doesn't get any easier. And so Sherry will have the morning off. Penny Barker will not. She'll be playing tomorrow morning. Amber Holland, who's not on the ice tonight, her rink awaits for the 9 a.m. draw tomorrow.
Boy, the new guy keeps track of everything. All I know is we're playing every game.
Someone's got to be on top of it.
You were on top of it. I was just nodding along for a lot there too, Scott. Or what's your name, Sean?
We'll keep them all straight. I was thinking about it during the break. It's a good thing they're using the baseball-style scoreboards here, because we'd be in danger of running off the end already on this. Nothing but multiple crooked numbers so far through 4 ends.
I love it, though.
Look at this. We got
makes it fun.
4 rocks biting the rings here already out of the first 5 thrown.
Yeah, and to think we're not even halfway home. Getting close, though. They're on this one. Penny Barker has the hammer here in the 5th. Will hit. And familiar sight with the hammer, lying 3.
Exactly. Great sweeping there, too. But, yeah, a lot of red rocks accumulating again. Although this time they're grouped. There's
this isn't
multiple.
a bad spot for Sherry.
Yeah.
You make the double, and you're probably still sitting in front of the 3rd one.
Yep.
We'll be able to clean things up pretty quickly.
One,
2, and maybe... No, we'll only remove 1.
That was interesting.
Still sitting shot stone, maybe? That one in the back 12-foot might be sitting shot stone. Well,
poor Sherry couldn't figure out which red stone to sweep, and I don't think she got a brushstroke on either one of them.
It was really close to being really great.
Yeah, not what they had in mind.
Here's a repeat.
Coming into the house, they sounded like they were disappointed, but boy, that almost worked really well for them.
I think Sherry thought it was going through the hole.
They might have wanted to sweep their own to curl it back in.
Not sure there was a hole.
It's diving down. Is he going to get past? No, it'll jam. Into the rings and into shot stone.
Yeah, I believe that leaves them sitting 2 and 4th shot as well.
But the nose hit should get a double, leave her sitting 2. You could actually probably make she's indicating the hit and roll under cover, and that still probably drives it across the face of the one at the back and gets the double that way.
Calling for it to curl.
That sounds like she may have been a little bit outside.
Yeah, it didn't sound good, did it?
Will it catch it? It'll catch one and just miss their own in the back 12-foot, but no roll underneath. So now more options for Penny Barker.
I think you need a little smidge more because you've got a.
Another chance to play the come around.
Yep, exactly. Around the corner.
Third stones here in the 5th. Penny Barker up 1 with the hammer.
Lots of room by the guard. But as you said, Sean, I think they're still figuring out the ice a bit here.
Yeah, going to the corners.
Some late finish.
Going to the corner is going to be the issue for the first couple of draws till everybody gets a feel for it, gets comfortable with it.
So now chance for Sherry to remove that stone. Patty Hersecorn throwing third stones for Team Anderson. That's Denise Hersecorn on the broom. We'll roll right back into the button. Not quite over top of the one, well, half over top of the one in the back, 12.
Half over top is probably good enough. If you roll much further, even where it is, Penny might be able to make the roll behind cover and pass it by the stone at the back. Tough.
Yep.
Risky.
So it looks like they're just going to play to roll to the open side.
Yeah, tougher to roll the other way with the angle.
Yeah.
So the second stone for Christy Gamble.
Yeah, Christy was with Penny when they won the province in 2022. And yeah, they're in their 3rd or 4th or 5th season together already. This team has been intact for nice shot.
It can't be more than
for
that.
a few years. I think well, 3.
because when I told you about the 6 winners, the first of those 6 was Penny, and that was with Deanna and
oh, Deanna, that's right, in Melville.
And Lorraine Schneider was playing.
That's right.
When you say teams staying together for 4 or 5 years, it's rare now in today's game. It almost feels like maybe a little less so on the women's side.
No,
but
no.
it feels rare.
Yeah, yeah. I think that maybe has to do a little bit with the Olympics. They
The
always
4-year
searching
cycle.
for the 4-year cycle and the elusive perfect teammates.
Yeah, exactly. Just a little, like a little loose up here from not a miss up. I think we did better with that. Holy jeez, yep. Hard! Hard!
So they're on this one. Sherry didn't like that coming right out.
Yeah, you got the commentary as she was sliding.
Sherry has done that many times over the years, and she does not. She denies. She has no idea she does it.
Well, it certainly worked out. I think I can't quite see where that guard is out front, but it's certainly in the vicinity of behind the guard.
Yeah,
oh, there
look
you
at
go.
it. It's-
Okay, how about perfectly behind the guard?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's one of those where you throw it and it didn't feel pretty, but got the job done.
Did it ever? I mean,
Yeah. Although I think she can see maybe half.
it's a chance for Penny to come in and remove this, but that's, yeah, almost as good as
Oh, for sure.
you can do, yeah.
Yeah.
I have some in my backpack. Yeah.
I'm just looking at where could she end up off this. Hard to get to that stone and stay behind cover, and if she starts rolling back to that center again, she leaves the possibility of a double, and Sherry Anderson can still get out of this and possibly get a force.
Yep.
So with the hammer up 1, Penny Barker in her rink curling out of Moose Jaw, her first stone here in the 5th.
You have to curl. It's not a curl. 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 Come on, Danielle.
Trying to get this to move.
Yep.
They do finish, as you noted.
Yeah, well, they
See-
were sweeping for the curl, and now they're sweeping for straight. Now they're sweeping for the curl.
It ticked. It still curled back a little bit. Got the job done, but left out and exposed here.
Yeah,
Left
that was
the
good
double, if
sweeping.
not the triple, though, and that would be enough for the force. Doesn't need the triple. Got to hit it just off the nose to make the double. If you're really greedy, you make the double and you roll behind
And roll
cover,
behind.
and now she's got to draw to the forefoot to get her single.
I'll try to slide. Yeah. If we get the double, we should get the roll. Doubles
There's a big difference between being up 2 or up 3 versus being tied going into the 5th end break. I mean,
Yeah, it
obviously
is.
the natural, but just
Momentum.
Yeah. Going in and coming out of that break.
Yeah, not just the scoreboard, you're right.
Different than any other end.
Especially when Barker's probably been feeling that they've sort of controlled this game so far. So,
And the other side of that, if Sherry makes the double here, this might be the first forced single too. We've had nothing
right.
but multiple points scored yet, and a forced single is
that would be
is
a
kind
win.
of a win. So this is going to have to curl to make the double, though.
Let's see if it'll finish at the end. But down the middle of the ice, it's not moving. Once you get a little off center, it feels like it's moving a little more. But
Seems to
double
be, and
there
it
for
also-
3. Do you play it?
and it also, yeah. What Sean's talking about is, do you play that double for 3?
Because there's some risk. If you try to play the double, hit it a little thin, you roll behind that one, and you only get 1.
It is, but it's pretty flat. If they can just get the 2.
and there's your answer.
It's like they knew I was asking.
And what I was saying about, you were talking about the curl there by centerline. I was saying it almost seems to be a little weight sensitive as well. You pick your weight up, it runs a whole lot straighter here.
It's in net.
So the final stone in the 5th for Penny Barker of Moose Jaw.
2, 3.
Called the sweep on right away.
Got to hold the shooter.
She's got some room to roll, but
it will roll over, and it will be enough. It will hang on, and there will be 2 more on the board for Penny Barker. Here in the 5th. So restores the 3-point lead.
Deuces are wild, but for the 1 field goal.
Field goal, 1 field goal on the board, and a field goal separating Penny Barker and Sherry Anderson as we sit through 5 ends of play. The opening draw, an entertaining one. The 2024 Viterra Scotties underway here in Tisdale.
Saskatchewan Championship Curling is brought to you by Viterra, SaskTel, Saskatoon Auto Connection, Singler Real Estate, Coldwell Banker Signature, Boston Pizza Restaurants of Saskatchewan, SaskTel Max TV, Curl Sask, and Real Cast Media.
Hi, this is Dustin Keltoff with Saskatoon Auto Connection. I consider it an honor to be able to give back to our curling community, which has been so good to me. Thank you for supporting Auto Connection and making that possible. I would like to do even more with your help. From now until the Sandra Schmerler Foundation Telethon, Auto Connection will donate 100% of the proceeds of its VIP membership sales to the Sandra Schmerler Foundation. If you've been on the fence about trying our service center out, it's time to call us today.
First chance for this particular lineup to go intact. She's throwing it good, makes the hit, and Stephanie Lawton will be the Saskatchewan champion.
It was 10 years ago. Stephanie Lawton, after skipping her team to her third of 4 championships back in 2014, teamed up with Robin Silvernagel and helped her win back-to-back Scotties titles in 2019 and 20. It was Silvernagel, without Lawton, that recaptured the Scotties title for a third time last year in Estevan. And Silvernagel is back to take on the field here in Tisdale, on the ice once dominated by Lawton. It's the 2024 Viterra Scotties, and it's coming up next.
Yeah, here we are back in Tisdale at the 2024 Viterra Scotties. Amanda Magnus is the town council, on the town council here in Tisdale. What a great event. I mean, the opening ceremonies really set the tone. Obviously, you were here for that. Just tell me what that feeling was like at the opening ceremonies, all the players walking out. We've got a great crowd here tonight. It's pretty cool.
It is. I've never been a part of something like this, and it was really, really just magic to be a part of it and to see everybody and to have the bagpipes and everything like that. It was really fun.
So how long have you been on town council then?
I was elected in 2020, so I'm coming up to the end of our 4-year term this fall, and yeah.
So what were you expecting? It's been 10 years since the event's been here, right? What was the expectation coming in? Obviously, you said you've never been through something like this.
Yeah, and I just know that no matter what, we have such a phenomenal community when it comes to putting on events. We have so many volunteers that everybody just pitches in to help, and we love our sports. We do. I know there's a lot of hockey players that are really sad that our rink is gone, but it's been a very good trade for the curling fans. So
lots of people watching, not only around the province, but around, across Canada, around the world. But for those that are in Saskatoon or down the road in some of the small communities, Melfort even, Humboldt, if they're thinking about coming out, watching things, what else is going on? There's the patch, there's other things going on. So what all is happening throughout the week?
Yeah, we've got lots of places to come and visit. We've got lots of services downtown, lots of businesses to check out. But yeah, the patch is, it's gonna be bumping. We've got some goldfish races on Friday night.
Wait, tell me about goldfish races.
Well, I've been assured that for the animal fans, they are going to go to good homes afterwards. Everything's been ethically sourced and everything. But yeah, they're going to race goldfishes in these little troughs over down the hall.
When and where?
Friday at the Recplex Auditorium at about 5:30 they said to come.
Unbelievable. I'm from Wynyard, so that's not that far. And we have the chicken chariot races, the chicken capital of Canada. So goldfish race, why goldfish?
That's a good question.
Lumsden has the duck derby. Wynyard's got the chicken chariot races. Are the goldfish
I think it's because it's probably really easy to get someone to take them home at the end of the night.
Unbelievable. Carrie, we need shots of the goldfish races, okay? And that needs to be in our broadcast. But what else is going on in Tisdale that's exciting, that's coming up? And I mean, it's always a great community with this facility and the Trojans that play, in the under 18 AAA league. It's a community with lots going on.
Yeah, we always have something, it seems. Probably the next big event, I would say, would be our Tisdale Rambler Rodeo, which is always the middle of April. And then we always have the Rock in the Square concert in first weekend in July. So yeah, we've always got something to come and have fun at over here.
Man, I appreciate this. All the best throughout a great week.
Thank you so much.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You could throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
When you buy a lottery ticket in Saskatchewan, your money really goes a long way. More than 12,000 sport, culture, and recreation groups receive funding from Sask Lotteries every year. Everyone wins.
Kim, goldfish races.
I know.
Unbelievable.
I think that sounds like a riot.
Like, so the chicken chariot races, Wynyard, that's the chicken capital of Canada, if you didn't know. And they put them in these, wired cages like chicken coop, but they're not, right? You got lanes.
So they have to stay in their lane.
Well, there's lanes, and they're separated, right? As we, back underway here in the sixth end, but they're separated by lanes. There's some things that are more important.
So how do the goldfish get separated?
That's what I'm wondering. So they unload the chickens, and everybody gets their chicken. You build a chariot for it, right? With the town, you paint it, and you do what you want, and has to weigh a certain amount. And then you go to the other end of the cage, and you're banging on the cage trying to get your chicken to come to the other end first. So what are you doing with the goldfish?
Well, you don't have chariots attached to the goldfish, I don't think.
I hope not. And
But
you're
I
not
don't know.
splashing the water.
Maybe straws?
Are you
Can you
dropping
blow?
food in there? Or are you...
I don't know. We're going to go.
We are going to go.
We're going to go. Maybe we could get our own goldfish. Can
How
we
do we-
enter the competition?
This week is getting interesting.
Do they put numbers on them? Like a saddle?
Well, yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I've never owned a goldfish, by the way. That was never something we had as kids.
How small do you have to be a jockey at a goldfish race?
Seahorses, they ride the goldfish. Sea monkeys.
I anticipate a call from PETA.
No, they assured they go to
Yes,
good
did.
homes.
They did. Going to good homes doesn't mean anything about. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited. And, the events going on throughout the week. And
I do have to say that I listened during the opening ceremonies, and they have lots of things going on, not just the goldfish races. They've got entertainment in the patch on Friday and Saturday. They have all sorts of fun things. We're in for a great time, as well as the curling.
Yeah, and the curling is off to a great start. Got a great update from Susan earlier on the other sheets. Nancy Martin is out there. Robin Silvernagel is on the ice. So the opening draw is full of heavyweights.
Absolutely. You got big names everywhere. We've got Amber Holland here. We've got Michelle Inglot. It's just packed.
And in our feature draw here in the opening draw, Penny Barker with a 7-4 lead over Sherry Anderson in the sixth end after picking up 2 in the fifth. You guys got a tough task when we look at our Boston Pizza player of the game, and we'll be selecting in the 10th end.
Yeah. Have to see who comes up big in the second half here. Well, to steal your line from before, Darren, it's looking familiar. Red sitting 2.
Yes.
But this is one of the things that happens with the rules the way they are. Here, Penny Barker with a 3-point lead probably doesn't want 5 rocks in play, but that's what she's got.
And why is that, Sean? Oh.
Sherry Anderson with the yellow stones. Penny Barker throwing red stones. Sherry has the hammer here in the sixth. Trying to remove, well, we'll get one out this side.
Yeah, nicely done.
Separate things.
Keeps her shooter in play as well.
So Sherry Anderson with the hammer sitting second and third shot for the time being.
Nice shot, Dee. Really good throw.
There's a good look at where those guards are out front, too.
Yeah, exactly. 10. I don't need more. Oh,
Jenna Angie throwing second stones.
Yeah, she was also with the Barker team back in 2022 when they won the province.
Just stick that by without avoiding the jam.
Yeah, and again, keeps her shooter in play.
They're second by. Good hit and roll off the top one.
I wouldn't mind to freeze there, but I don't think we can get there.
I don't think we can.
Meaning they can't throw the intern to get there. There's a good look at it. They throw the intern. You can't come by that center line guard and still freeze on the back. You're probably going to over curl. So.
Not enough room.
Yeah.
And the pace you'd have to come at to,
Yeah. So that's why they're going to play the hit. Here's the newbie on the team. This is Denise Hersekorn. Patty's sister.
They curl out of the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon. We'll be there in a couple of weeks for the SaskTel Tankard on the men's side. She gets her hit. Sits right there, but Penny looking to hit and maybe get under some protection. Christy Gamble throwing third stones for Team Barker.
Good situation here, though, for the Anderson team. Even if Barker makes the roll behind cover, she's probably behind the tee line.
The hit, but much too thin.
Even better situation
when you hit your own stone.
So now with the hammer, Sherry's looking to bring one in and lie three of her own for really the first time tonight.
How the tables have turned.
This is going to be a tough shot to make, tough call, but Sherry thinking got to come around the wide side to not leave a double.
For sure.
Just don't know if they've been out this wide even in practice.
Just what I was going to say, you know, first game of the tournament, they don't necessarily know the ice out here, though. And I'm sure in practice they weren't throwing over here.
7, 6, 7, 6. Krista 5, 6. Anita's rock.
Anita's rock, meaning it's going to need to curl if they have to sweep it. A lot of room by the guard, but we do know they finish.
No. Okay, Patty, good throw.
Moved a bit at the end as it sails the back of the 8-foot. But right now, Sherry Anderson lying three with the hammer. Trying to climb right back into this one.
Roll tight! Roll tight! Hey, over speed! Line's good!
Sherry's been so good for so long, and going back to the late 90s, early 2000s. She won her silver medal at Nationals at the Scotties. But I thought
Who was playing third for her that year?
Don't quiz me.
Okay, well I'll quiz Kim then.
She can tell us.
Yeah, she can.
But
she was playing third for her.
As much fun as that was,
it wasn't much fun.
But the 2020,
could you please not bring that up?
I know. But 2021, when she got the spot.
Oh, during COVID.
When Rachel, she. I can't remember exactly how she ended up getting the COVID spot.
The Silvernagle team would have been the returning champion, but they had not.
That's what it was, Robin.
They had not kept three players together. It was Robin had a new squad, and you had to have 3 out of your 4 returning players.
And I know when they went to the championship pool, it didn't go Sherry's way when they ended up going to the championship pool. But she started 6-2, and I just thought that was such a she was in at or near the top of her pool, and I just remember that being such a cool moment. And something that kind of came out of nowhere at the time.
I don't know. Some of you might have done more research than me, but I don't know of a time that Sherry has been to nationals that she wasn't in the hunt. I mean, they've always, even every one of these years, they were. She and her team were almost always in the playoffs. And as you said, that year they started 6-2. Just a force to be reckoned with at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they started out down 7-4 here, and they got a chance to get 4 this end.
Well, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's so fun and fascinating to watch that when you have that much experience and been around the game so long. It doesn't matter how many years go by; they're always going to be a threat.
Right.
Boy, this is a tough shot that they're trying in. She's coming through the port, trying to make the play on shot stones. So, with like hack weight. There's a lot of rocks you can rub here, and it's going to end up bad. You could rub the red guard, you could rub the yellow guard, you could make the port, rub the one in the top of the 8-foot, not kill it. You're still leaving them sitting 3.
I don't know what other options do you have
Well, that's
here,
just
though?
it. It's either this or you're drawing.
Yeah.
She's talking about running the guard
Or I
now,
guess to
too.
run and just try to eliminate. But
As long as you make contact with something running
Something,
the red, and even
yeah.
if you don't, you're opening up a stone for your last one.
Sherry Anderson lying 3 here with the hammer in the 6th, with Penny Barker trying to come through that hole. But as you guys just mentioning running, the red one right back.
Yeah.
I like it. Whatever you see.
Sitting there.
Like, that's a big hole.
If you come through the port, you're just eliminating the one stone, right?
Well, yeah, but your shooter's probably staying buried.
But the shooter will be buried at second shot, maybe third.
There's a good look at it. That port isn't so easy.
She's not. She's coming. The shot she's looking at is to come through the port on the out turn, so she come
on the middle stone,
past the stone in the 12-foot, and hit shot rock
in the 8-foot.
Yeah,
trying to hit that yellow stone in the 8-foot.
It's the best result. It's not an easy shot.
You pointed at
but
the
she
screen.
doesn't.
We'll get the telestrator.
She doesn't have an easy
throughout
shot
the week. Not an easy shot. So what did she settle on?
She went back to her initial call. She's still going to try to play that port.
And key here is the weight she's going to throw at this to get through this port. And curl back that one in the top of the 12, too.
Slow, slow, curl,
Penny Barker.
curl. Keep her going, curl.
Delicate here with her first stone.
Hard, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Trying to bring it through. It's through.
Got to get by the next one.
And it won't.
That's fine. That's fine.
So it'll spill the 2 in, move things around. It's still Sherry Anderson lying 3.
The first one they made contact with might be out in the open now. That's
Straight throw.
which would give her something to hit and roll off on, where she could roll buried or roll into the other 2.
Well, at least it gives her a shot with her last one.
Until we move the camera out, we're to see where the guard is. We can't tell if she can see the inside of that rock or not.
There
There's
you go.
the look at it.
Oh, yeah.
She can see the edge.
Lots of room.
She can see the edge anyway. She'll have to play it with finesse weight again.
So Sherry coming around the same way that she asked Patty to.
I don't mind that.
Here's another good look at that shot here by Penny. Made it through the hole, but didn't get by that one in the top of the 8-foot.
I'll be honest, I'm a little surprised that Sherry didn't look at coming around to Christmas tree to take that shot away.
That's right. Because that's her only out here for
It
the Barker
is.
team. Yeah.
Thing is, she's got to make the perfect roll.
Right. That's really good.
I think I like this.
Yeah, this is good.
I think they were talking about it.
And that's what Sherry said.
Yeah.
She'll have to make a perfect throw.
Almost back to back on outside.
Okay, yep. Go then. Go, 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 go.
Full 8-foot.
But you always
yeah.
kind of play thinking that the other opposition is going to make the perfect shot and the perfect throw. So that one shot by Penny could take all of this away.
Penny's probably one of the best last rock throwers in the competition. I'm not sure I'd want to leave her the shot.
To take it all away.
Yeah.
Where? 6. Room. 6. Room. Line's good. 7. 6. Room. Whoa.
Sherry Anderson's first. She has the hammer here in the 6th.
Still a lot of room by the guard.
Yep, yep, curl.
Oh, let's finish.
Good shot, just what she called. Now we'll see.
You know, the one nice thing about where that stone ended up too as well, if Penny plays this shot with enough weight, get to the inside of that and roll towards the yellows, she's not rolling undercover. She can roll right to the edge of that stone, but there'll be a port for Sherry Anderson to come through. So really all Penny's got is she's got to make the perfect roll behind the guard, her own guard. She
Otherwise,
can't roll
you're
into the
looking at a hit for 4.
hard to roll into the yellows now and leave yourself in a good spot.
Right.
Whereas before, she'd have had the option to play the hit and roll onto the top corner of that Yellowstone. You can't really get there now.
It's a little too deep for that.
Well, that stone's high enough. It's blocking that path. You can't make that roll into the corner freeze now. The one Sherry just threw is kind of in the way. So.
Yeah. Line's tight. You got it. Line will be okay if weight's there. Yep, then. Line's good.
Feels like it could be a key turning point type moment here in our opening draw. Penny Barker's last stone without the hammer here in 6.
Stay close. Curl. Hard, Danielle. Hard.
Got to get past the nose to get some kind of roll behind cover.
Pretty close.
Get it around. Moves a little bit.
I think it maybe tucked a little bit.
Now they'll take a look.
Yeah,
Might
but it's
actually
it's
be yellow
third
sitting
already.
too already.
There's still probably a shot there for 4. There's a good look at it. You can see, what would you say, 2/3?
Yeah, I think there's a shot there for 4. Or if they're already sitting too well, you got to do a straw to the side of the 4-foot for 3. But
that's not as easy as you make it sound right now. There's not a lot of 4. There's not a lot of 4-foot there.
oh yeah, you've got this whole side.
If you hit,
Do you think
if you hit what you can see, I think it goes by the
I
one
do
at
too.
the back of the 8-foot.
Especially if you throw like bumper weight at it. That's a long guard. You
It
can get
looks
to the
almost
nose.
like Penny's sitting second shot.
No, it doesn't.
You think so?
Not to me.
No?
I think Penny's sitting third shot.
Yeah, I think
but
so too.
My question was, do you
It's
think
mood
that would-
anyway. They're playing it.
Right, but do you think, if Penny sitting second shot makes you more likely to make the hit? If Penny was third shot, then you'd be more likely to take the draw and go for 3.
Possibly, but they're going to play for 4.
Well, except
Right.
that the draw's not a gimme. Like she's got nothing on the other side of the sheet. There's too many guards, too many other rocks to play. She's only got a small piece of the 4-foot left available. The hit's not really probably any harder than that draw would be.
It's Sherry Anderson we're talking about.
And it's Sherry Anderson we're talking about. She'll make the hits for 4. Even if you rub that one on the way by, it's still for 3. But I think she can see enough of it. If she gets to what she can see, it goes by the one at the back of the 8-foot, and it's for 4.
I think so, for sure. It's a long guard.
This is the difference, though, between, we talked about this a little bit earlier, and she had a shot in third end where she's playing this hit from the outside in, the shot that they play in practice, and she's a little bit more comfortable playing this turn than probably the inside out.
Right, yeah.
Early in the competition.
Final stone here in 6 for Sherry Anderson.
Sweeping for curl early.
Dear. I think you almost want to go by here. You don't want to give them shot rock into all those like that.
And a mistake from Sherry Anderson. A hit for 4. Doesn't quite get there. It's a steal of 1 for Penny Barker.
That hurts. It was you already had 2 kind of in your pocket, and to give the one way, it's like you just gave up 3.
That's a 5-point swing.
So 6 ends in the books, a 5-point swing. And we come out of the 6th. Penny Barker extends the lead. Our opening draw continues in Tisdale.
Hi, this is Dustin Keltoff with Saskatoon Auto Connection. Did you know we've moved to a massive new location in Sutherland? Let me show you around. We've combined sales, service, glass, and detailing into one automotive superstore. Whether you want to fix, maintain, or spruce up your ride, or trade it in for something fresh, we've got the team, the services, the inventory, and the financing to help you with any of your automotive needs.
So you're a pizza person, but you're married to a wing person, and your kids are salad people? You can't pick your fam, but with over 50 menu items to choose from, you can make them all happy. Order today and enjoy Boston Pizza at home.
This isn't just a beer. This is a double-aged, never-back-down, full-of-heart Western beer. This is a beer brewed by 16 guys who risked it all. Original 16. Underdogs since 1989.
The fat lady.
Well, tough end of the 6th. It's okay. You're going to say the fat lady's not singing quite yet at 8-4. But that was a big missed opportunity. There was an opportunity for Sherry to be up here going into the 7th.
But she's warming up.
You see her stretching in the corner.
She's doing those vocal exercises.
Well, that was kind of key. There's no pussyfooting around it. I mean, they chance to get 4, and you give up a steal of 1. That's, like I said, a 5-point swing.
Would have been their first lead of the game.
First
it would
lead
have
of
changed
the
everything.
Yeah. And, yeah, we had set off air a little bit, too, to go up like that. Momentum, and also in an even end to go 1 up this late in the game. That was pretty big, but still 4 more ends.
She's got the hammer now. She's into help, too. Got to drag this one across the line.
Yep.
They'll get it across, and how far can they bring it down? Turns out okay.
Yeah. Danielle put a good shot with her first one in the top 4 foot, right where you want to go when you're 4 up. Throw a second one there.
Yes, I left as the shot. Running straight more.
Especially when you know that Sherry's got to continue to throw guards and find some protection.
Yeah, as dictated by the scoreboard.
Good shot. Yeah, good shot. Yeah, go for weight. Go for weight. Go for weight. Little more, little more.
Looks like Danielle's got a handle on her draw weight this early in the competition.
Danielle Sosinski throwing lead stones for Team Barker. They'll be on the ice tomorrow morning. You don't have to really set the alarm. 9 a.m.'s not that early, but early enough.
I'll set the alarm.
For the morning draw. Get the coffee going and join us in the morning.
Coffee in the morning and popcorn in the evening, and you're set. You can watch curling all day.
I like that.
Yeah, especially when it's that cold outside. Just sit in front of your computer or your TV all day. Watch curling all day, doesn't get much better.
Yeah, we'll tell you, we have coverage of all the draws throughout the week, into the weekend. 9 a.m., 3 p.m., I believe, and 7:30 are our draw times. You want to confirm that for me?
I don't need to confirm. You did it right.
9, 3, and 7:30.
You betcha. Tomorrow morning, however, is our only 9 a.m. game. Speaking of setting an alarm clock. Friday is 10, Saturday's 10, Sunday is 10.
The early start tomorrow just because there is a luncheon for the players and officials and sponsors tomorrow afternoon.
So the 10 a.m. wake-up call will be really nice.
I agree.
They were actually looking to come around that stone. They bump it over and roll towards the corner. That's kind of advantage Anderson there. They've left the house in a good shape for Sherry right now. As much as she's facing 3, she's got the middle's not protected. That stone that just rolled over, she'll use it later. Right now she's going to deal with the 2.
And she's got a corner guard.
And she's got a corner guard.
And she's going to be moving these ones a little bit behind the tee line. She's got lots of rocks to work with.
She's not looking to move it very far. She just needs to move the top one, 6 inches to leave a pocket.
Yep.
See how far they can drag this right on top.
Yeah, they need to hold the line. Not bad.
Not bad. Susan Lang is keeping an eye on the other 3 sheets of play. Over on sheet 1, Robin Silvernagel, our defending champ, was in a little early trouble in her opening draw, Susan.
We're picking up this game right now where Robin Silvernagel is throwing her last rock. She's sitting one already, trying a really tough flat double across to get over to that red side rock that was second shot in order to score a big end and get in. And it was a tough shot. Looked at the long angle raise, it wasn't there. Robin has to settle for a single point. It's 5-3, Jessica Mitchell going into the 7th end.
Great opening draw for Jessica Mitchell. And you get dealt that hand to start this tournament with the pool format, and you can't really afford a lot of losses. That's got to be a daunting task. She's handled it really well.
No, I agree with you. That's true. But who would you rather play? Would you rather play Nancy Martin? Would you rather play Sherry Anderson? Would you rather play Penny Barker? Would you rather play? Like, doesn't matter what name you pull out. There's lots of good ones.
When you're looking at the top 12 teams in the province, there are not a lot of
not a lot of freebies on your scorecard or your bingo card, as they say.
There's no free spaces on the bingo card.
That's the line I was trying to remember.
That's right.
think you'd be really good at the bingo phrases by.
What?
Well, this is the first year that I haven't been the youngest guy on the crew, so I just would have thought bingo would have been right up your alley.
Oh, that's a bit of a stretch.
Darren has taken my title as youngest guy on the crew.
We're taking odds if Sean will finish the week, survive.
That's all. You're just taking on odds on whether or not I'll survive, not odds on who'll be the one that takes me out.
Keep your head on a swivel.
You don't need anyone to take you out with all your bodily injuries. You can just do it yourself. Well, we got lots of rocks in play here for a team that's 4 up. We've got lots of options, as we said. This game is far from over.
In third stones here in the 7th. Penny Barker without the hammer. And red stones. Will come in, open things up. And now sitting 2 right now.
And we're all quiet now because we're reading texts.
Yes.
I'm getting texts about clubs that used to run goldfish races before. We're getting a rundown on the rules.
Well, I am quite intrigued.
So they're saying, yeah, some would start really fast and then maybe the
Turn
fish
around.
would turn around. That happened with the chickens too. They turned around. And no, the other way. So then you'd run to the other side of the cage and bang them the other way. But there was thousands of dollars on the line. In
I
those
bet a lot of
races.
betting. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure what I remember, but I remember.
I feel like with thousands of dollars on the line, you probably did this close to last call.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it happened early in the evening.
Why do I think with the fish you blow straws and you blow bubbles behind the fish or something and you chase them along? I really don't know. But I think we're about to learn. We're about to find out.
We see a photo online. Their head in the fish tank and a straw.
Can't believe they got that by the guard.
Yeah, back to the game.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
so are they sitting?
keep saying it.
Sitting
This
3,
game's
I
not
think.
over yet.
Yeah.
Here's 6 rocks in the rings again. This is more rocks in play than Penny Barker would like to see.
Well, they're sitting 2 for sure. So look to see who is the third shot.
The only way you can eliminate yellows, you're either playing a single and leaving another multiple hit available, or you play the double on the outside and you're hitting 6th shot.
It does look a lot like Penny is that shot that's biting the 8 foot at the top. Like that's the third stone, right?
Really probably doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah.
Penny's just looking to eliminate rocks. And on the other side of the coin, Sherry Anderson, happy to have all these rocks in play. The houses spread out. The red ones in the rings aren't bothering her because the 2 at the top are already grouped. And even if you make the roll here, that's going to leave 3 of them grouped.
Including the end of this end, you still have 4 ends. I mean, how do you eat an apple or an elephant? 1 bite at a time. So you try and get them 2 at a time, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully you can find a 3 in there or a 4 at some point. But it's a lot of red stones still in play.
Well, we're at Patty's last stone here, so gonna have to move a little bit at some point, but still just freezing here.
It's Patty Hersicorn.
Yeah.
Throwing third stones for Team Anderson.
I think they're moving it. I think they're moving. It doesn't look like enough ice to be playing the freeze, so I think they're playing to tap one and roll in front of the other. And I don't think this is the one they were looking to hit. I think they were actually looking to hit the other one and roll in front of that one.
For sure.
Finish where they are, but with...
And you just couldn't buy a break there, because not only did they not get what they were looking for, they didn't clip the one on the way by at the back either. Wouldn't have had to move it very far for the one at the edge of the 8 foot to be out counting it. No way for Penny Barker to remove this stone without leaving.
You need to be pretty
double,
precise.
Triple. Yeah.
And without jamming it
to
on the
not
back.
jam.
Yeah.
You're a little off. You might
Yep.
You're not rolling anywhere unless you try to play the big roll, like drive it across the face and over the top of that stone in the back. But then you're probably losing your shooter. And if yellow is throwing right now, there's a triple on those 3 reds.
Yeah, it's there. This needs to be right on the nose.
You could probably get away with the center line side a little bit.
Flop. Yeah.
The skip stones here in the 7th. And there's the hat you guys were talking about on Mark Lang.
Always styling.
I don't think it counts as styling if he wears the same hat for the whole event. It should be
all 5 days.
It should be a different hat.
It's only day 1. We don't know that it's
That's
not
right.
going to
The
be.
fedora might be here too. We don't know.
Penny Barker, and she will neatly pick out the yellow stone. Well done.
Yeah, nicely done. The classic, well.
Well, if there's ever an opportunity to try something.
Well, for sure, but there's not a lot of obvious options here or anywhere for her to hide to even try to get
Well, I'm not
to manufacture 2 out of
I'm not sure I'd be looking to try to hide. She's talking about different doubles she can
Well,
play,
yeah,
but then you're
but
going to leave it sit
wide
test
open.
sit 3 back. Well, why do you not look at the triple now? You make the triple, you're sitting 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And if she leaves you a double for your last one, because that stone is still open. I agree with what Sherry's saying.
Exactly
if you play
what
any
you're
kind
saying.
of double here, she's going to be sitting 3 with no shot at a triple.
I don't know that triple is quite as wired as you say that it is, but it does look like that the few shots that Sherry has not quite made the way she's called is on her out-turn side.
Boy, if anything, they maybe overswept that. If they could have got a tuck under that
Yeah,
red
they could
stone,
have got half under. Yeah.
that might have been the way. You're not looking at bringing those 2 back in, but you might be able to set up a deuce that way.
Here, you're going to be looking at 4. And, you know, she just dead noses this. I'm not sure that Sherry can nose with her next one and get shot.
It'd be
Guess
be
we're about to
tight.
see.
She might be able to, or she might even be. She might have enough room to make the double if she knows it. Here's the thing, though. Penny can't beat anything on the outside. She jams it on the back when she'll leave a triple at the top as well.
Oh, I want to smash somebody's face.
I don't think it
I'm
could
glad
be,
I don't have to go talk to her.
I don't think it could be me.
The rookie's got to do it, hey? Final stone for Penny Barker, and she'll clean out 1 yellow.
And that's what happens when you're a little bit worried about leaving the jam. You overcurl it. The triple's there. There's no such, well, I shouldn't say that. There's almost no such thing as a gimme triple, but it's there. And it's still for 3 because she's got to hit it on the center line side to make it.
Yeah, we hit that one first.
How about that?
It's definitely there.
Draw 1 on day 1. We get the line of the Scotties
Right.
from Sherry Anderson.
Or we make the double and get 1. Yeah, but I think we need to throw 3.
Are you going to get 1 though? I've thrown this turn, but I like it coming in better.
Because we'll roll, I think, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I mean, I know we want more than 1.
Half a rock. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. I don't mind. We can draw for 1 and be 3 down without playing 3.
I'm shocked they're even talking about the draw for 1, to be honest.
Yeah, let's do it then.
So giving up hammer, going down, still down 3.
Well, it's definitely there. No triple is easy, but it's there because you're driving the first one onto about a quarter of the second one. It comes back towards that stone at the back of the 8. You definitely can make contact with all 3 of them, and they could go. And you don't have to be that far off the nose on the first one, like I think you can make it and stay for 3. It's not easy. No triple is easy, but it's there.
Final stone of the 7th for Sherry Anderson. Down 4, and she looks straight down.
The head went down, yeah. She needs to hit this a little bit on the center line side, and this is over curled early.
It will slide forward. It's a steal of 2 for Penny Barker.
2 more on the board.
Here in the 7th end.
And there's going to be a conversation here, I think, before they making a decision whether or not they're going to keep going or not.
We have to play one more.
They've got to play one more. So we got to put 8 on the board.
Yeah, we got to count the ends.
We got to get 8 in. Sherry Anderson will have the hammer when we come back. One more end to play here. At least one more end to play. We're going to play 8. We may play 9. We may play 10.
She's had a couple of shots for 4, so things could happen yet.
Hi, this is Dustin Keltoff with Saskatoon Auto Connection. Have you heard about our unique VIP program? It's only $49 a year and gives you amazing discounts for all the vehicles in your household. 20% off labor, 10% off parts, 25% off tires, free windshield stone chip repairs, and much more. Complimentary vehicle washes and shuttle service, SGI accredited for auto glass, and some of the best auto detailing in Canada, making automotive easy, affordable, and honest for you at Saskatoon Auto Connection.
There's no doubt running any kind of farm comes with day-to-day challenges. We built a new facility 2 years ago. Technology has totally revolutionized dairy farming. Sask Milk gives us the tools to provide high quality standard of milk, making sure our equipment is all well taken care of, make sure that those animals are housed and cared for appropriately. They continue to push us with their standards to make sure that it just gets better and better.
Well, that'll be a tough game. We've played Penny 2 or 3 times this year. Always have a pretty good game against them, and we know we got to come out and play at our best.
She's been in every situation. She's won pretty much everything there is to win. And mainly, we just have to focus on what we can do and make shots and try to put pressure on as much as we can.
In the opening draw, and it really started in the opening end when she stole 2 to get this entire game underway, and a tough night for Sherry Anderson. A little bit of frustration for the veteran.
I don't mean to place blame, but sometimes when you skip, you can be the hero or you can be the GOAT. But second end was a tough way. You know, they were sitting 1 and they end up giving up a steal of 2. They were hitting for 2, if I remember right, actually. Gave up a steal of 2. And then the other end, when they were playing the shot for 4, and it was Sherry's last shot, which happens when you're skipping. But, yeah, just to reiterate what you just said, it's been a tough night for Sherry individually, specifically.
I can't get over how he could come up from the commercial break and say 10-4, and he didn't follow it up with a rubber ducky.
Oh, he's quick tonight.
I know, I don't have the mustache. So I can't pull that off. If I grow the mustache throughout the week, maybe I can pull it off.
Through the week?
Yeah.
I hate to break it to you. It takes a couple days more than that. But.
We're going to have a fun week. Full broadcast schedule, streaming games of every draw. And SaskTel Max, local on demand. And SaskTel Max will have games live every night. The evening draws in prime time. So stay tuned to your television sets. Back here tomorrow night. Follow Curl Sask for all the updates and the streaming links or your favorite teams. We'll be posting our featured games throughout the week.
Yeah, she kind of.
Be thinking about your player of the game, the Boston Pizza.
I I actually was. Did you see me looking at that?
No, I didn't.
It's exactly why I had the furrowed brow.
Well, I thought you picked a good time to bring it up just because it's Jenna Angie throwing here, and she'd be a strong candidate, I think, for this game. She's had a good game, and
I agree.
We didn't talk about it a lot through the game. We talked about the youth movement for the Anderson team at Denise Ersgård, but before the game, we had talked about this was going to be a key matchup in this game. Jenna Angie, since joining Penny Barker, she's been a big part of that team. She's involved in more than just the traditional sense for a second. She's very involved in the strategy. They lean on her a lot. She's a big key with the brush.
I agree.
And one of the better shooters out there, too, and she's having a strong game in all aspects.
Yeah. Yeah, not your typical just throw and sweep hard second. Exactly what you said.
Shoot 2, sweep 6, and be quiet, but it's not usually said quite so gently.
Yeah.
Mine's good. Weight's good. 15, get it to the tee. Hard curl. Hard. Enough curl. Curl. No, don't curl. Really good.
So Penny's just keeping the house clean. Trying to keep as few stones in play as possible and getting through the 8th end.
You're exactly right. She'll be hitting everything in sight here.
She can start hitting guards now. Now, one of the things that I would have bet would have been part of the discussion for the Anderson team between ends when they decide that, oh, wait a minute, we've got to play 8. You know you've got 4 more games to play. You haven't had necessarily your best game here, and it's one of those things when you know we're probably going to play one more end, but let's play one really good end. Let's give us something to build off of mentally. And this is not a bad start to the end. They got the house split. It's going to end up being presumably a fairly reasonable deuce. You're not going to have to go crazy to get it. It is something they can use to build off of going forward.
And even learning the ice, getting a handle on the ice a little bit, get a handle on draw weight. I'm not saying
Play
that
to the
they've given
corners.
up, but I'm saying use it as a bit of a practice and a learning thing now.
Even that stone, it comes up short, but now you've got a double corner guard on that side after this shot's thrown. It doesn't really matter here. If Christie stays, you're going to come around that double corner. You can't say the Anderson team hasn't had chances to generate points. They had a shot at 4. They had a shot at 2 in the first.
Yes.
They had a shot at 4 in the 6th.
Hard! T-line are better, guys.
But once you get behind and it snowballs, it becomes really difficult, and that's kind of what we've seen tonight.
It makes the decision making for your opposition easier, and they're more comfortable than you'd like them to be. You'd like to force them into a couple of tough shots. They did force Penny into a couple, and like I said, she didn't exactly make what she wanted. She left that shot for 4, and Sherry probably just a little bit outside on that one. And
Anita's rock. Anita's rock. Yeah, it's heavy. It's not even my first corner higher. It's back there. Yeah. Back 12. As long as we're in deep, it's back 12. It's back there.
Yeah, so 2.5.
Finish that out. They'll sit
Okay.
and just hang on in the back of the 12-foot.
doesn't look like they got it in behind cover, though.
There's a good look at it. So I don't even know if it's edge to edge, but certainly see the majority. So Patty's getting a second chance at coming around here. She'll make this one better.
Hard line, guys. Hard. We're going to overcurl. Hard.
Push, you got it. Straight, not curl, straight. Hard. Yeah.
Has to get by the tighter guard as well, not going to.
Ooh, I don't know. We're not drawing there.
I agree, yeah.
Have to admit, I was a little surprised as well. I believe that was Christy that said that, was it?
No, I think Christy suggesting to draw there.
Oh,
yeah.
was it?
And then Penny
I just
said,
heard the
I'm not
voice.
drawing there.
No, I think we go the other side. Yeah.
Well, she had the trouble with that side too earlier. It was coming the other way, coming on the outside in, but
it doesn't even matter that you're playing over there. It's like
Sure, we'll try to let you
hurry
have
up and
two.
throw this before you change your mind.
yeah.
She plays to the other side of the forefoot, anywhere in the forefoot really. It makes a tough shot for Sherry, but she plays to the other side of the forefoot. Now for Sherry Anderson, she comes around the corner guard, which she's probably going to do anyway, because scoreboard says you kind of need to. And
So you need a miss at this point to get
you're
your
going to
two.
have to make a real tough shot with your last one, or a double with your last one. But it doesn't have to be an easy double, and it's possible Penny can, if she leaves this one on a good spot, she'll have lots of places to put her second one where she wouldn't leave a double. And this looks like a pretty good spot. So Sherry not even going to look to come around.
So we have a final score on the board. Robin Silvernagel, our defending champion from North Battleford, and Jessica Mitchell of Newtown and Saskatoon. And the final stone here in the 8th end. Against 4, trying to bring this in, and it's going to come up short. Just rub off her own.
That looks like it might be a steal of 2.
Make it 9-3 the final. Handshakes after that. There they are. So our defending champion, Robin Silvernagel, 0-1 to start after the opening draw. Jessica Mitchell of the Nutana Club in Saskatoon off to a great start, winning her opener here this evening, 9-3 over Robin Silvernagel of North Battleford.
And Sherry, knowing that if she came around that corner, she wasn't going to be shot, Penny would split the rings, decided to play the freeze on the red, corner freeze. A little bit strong, didn't get the line she was looking for. She actually might have buried a piece of it behind the red, so at least she's made Penny think about how she wants to defend this. She's still going to play to split the rings. All she's got to do here is avoid leaving a double.
Penny Barker, who's her rink has had a wonderful evening here in Tisdale.
Well, that's what I was just thinking. If you play the same way,
You want to be here.
I don't want to. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay,
Do you want to talk about that? So right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just going for distance.
Getting the look that they want.
Okay, line's good. Line's pretty good. Little curl.
Final stone for Penny Barker.
Make up a little bit of time.
Here in 8, the 2022 provincial champion.
I am surprised she changed the call, though.
You thought she would split it the other way.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of risk of leaving a double here. Boy, she curled far enough. She doesn't have to play a double. She can get to shot stone, pass it by for a deuce. I don't know why they changed the call there.
So Sherry Anderson, a hit for 2 here in 8.
That's a lot of ice for
She's not going to throw a lot of weight here, but I agree with, and I'm not sure who said it, that does look like a lot of weight for hack. I looked at the broom and thought she was just throwing like a back liner here. She doesn't need to move it very far. She can see about half. If she's hitting half on the angle that she's hitting it at, she only needs to move it 2.5, 3 feet.
The final stone for Sherry Anderson. Been a frustrating night, but trying to find something here in 8.
This one's curling on them.
It's going to jam. And where will it roll in? It'll roll in enough for 1. So they don't get their 2, they get 1 instead.
It was just that kind of a game for Sherry Anderson, even on that one.
And it's handshakes.
They talked about hack weight. Well, that wasn't hack weight. That was, I don't even think it was back line. If you look at where she hit that rock and how far she rolled, probably just that little bit off on the weight yet. Just, you know, opening game of the event, and they weren't 100% sharp, but they certainly had their opportunities to score multiple points, and you expect a bounce back from that team. And again, a veteran team and a veteran skip, that's a team that is probably not going to be, you know, that bothered by being backs against the wall, as we talked about. They'll be okay with that.
10-5, the final score here in our opening draw. Penny Barker picking up the win, off to a good start. And there's Kim, down with our winning skip. Kim?
Quite a score going 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, yeah, we made enough shots in that one.
curl it.
You know, they had a couple chances where they could have either got a huge end on us a couple times, and we managed to get a couple rocks in tricky spots there. There was a couple paths that weren't very forgiving, and we were fortunate on a couple of those, and so we recognize that, and we know that we need to make a couple more throughout the week. But it was a good start. I thought weight-wise, we felt good about getting this game under our belt and feeling this ice out, and I think we have more shots in our future the rest of the weekend.
And it's a long weekend yet. And you guys are one of the few teams in here that have 4 remaining players, or the same 4 players from the last how many years? How much of an advantage is that going into this weekend?
Well, I think it's huge. You know each other that much better. You know what it's going to be like in a certain game situation, or what is it that you need to do with that teammate to pick them up, or what it is that makes them tick. I do think that offers a little bit of an advantage when you can have 4 remaining players, and I've been happy and lucky that they want to stay playing with me, so it's awesome.
Well, it sounds pretty good. How has your season gone to this point? What are your expectations this weekend? I guess that's a 2-point question.
So I guess the season up to this point, it isn't the season that we were looking for. We didn't do as well on the cash circuit, just in terms of, winning some bonspiels. We qualified in most of the bonspiels that we played in, but just wasn't where we were last year, where we were, winning a few of those bonspiels. But ultimately, like you said, part 2 of question, exactly. This is the goal. This is what we worked the whole year for. Doesn't really matter what happened in the fall, as long as you put it out here and put yourself in the best spot for making it to the national Scotties. So last year we played really well in the cash season and kind of suffered in the Scotties. So here we are.
Good answer. Well, good luck for the rest of the weekend.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Good luck.
Hi, Nana.
Start, yes. Hi, Nana. Absolutely. A great start for Penny Barker and your player of the game, Boston Pizza.
Player of the game, I think, for the Barker team, probably that Jenna Engie. And you queued that up nicely when you asked about it that end right before she threw. But she had a very strong game, and again, in all aspects, she's a key member of that team. Not just, as I said, the way she throws the rocks, but she's very involved in a lot of the discussions. And she was, she's mid-event form already. She played really well.
Very impactful. I think we had her at 75% on the night. Our statistician pulling up some numbers, so that's pretty good and great stuff. More bonus coverage we'll pick up when we come back to Tisdale on the opening draw, the 2024 Viterra Scotties.
This is it. It all comes down to this rock. The hours in the gym, the weeks away from my family. This is what I've been training for. And all those voices trying to tear me down, I'm here to silence them. We've given everything we have for a chance to get everything we want.
Well, handshakes in our featured game after 8 ends. Penny Barker 10-5 over Sherry Anderson, so we get bonus coverage. We're looking right now at sheet 3, where Skylar Ackerman is up 6-2 on Michelle Englot. Susan, you've been following the coverage. Susan Lang up in our broadcast location here. You've been following the action. Fill us in on, kind of what's gone on to get us to this point.
Well, from what I've seen, the Ackerman front end has had an outstanding evening this evening, and they've been putting the pressure on every end against the Englot team. And as you can see, when we do get away from get the pan, this is what every end has looked like. Now, this is the best one that's built up here for the Michelle Englot team, but Skylar's had an answer every end and has been coming back the last couple of ends with some steals. So Skylar is in the hack for her last shot. She'd certainly like to remove one of those reds. Scoreboard dictates, you're up 6-2, so let's just minimize the damage right about now.
We stole 2 and 7, stole 1 and 8.
Yep. Right.
Yep. Can't throw big weight here, though, because she can't see all of that stone on the button. And I think, is Michelle sitting 2, I think, isn't she?
I believe so.
Has to get by her own at the top of the 12-foot. Not going to, and that might have opened up enough room. That's what they're looking at. Can Michelle get to enough of the button to sit 3? Or it won't be Michelle, it's actually Stephanie throws last.
Yeah. Stephanie Schmidt throwing skip stones for the Michelle Englot rink out of the Highland Curling Club in Regina. Michelle actually throwing lead stones.
And then calling the game, holding the broom. And as we had that one update on this Englot Ackerman game, I'd mentioned how in the third end, Stephanie Schmidt had a significant draw to keep them in the game, like a beautiful draw, cold draw to the 4-foot, looking at 3 in the 4-foot, no backing, put it in there to make the score 3-1 and keep them in the game. She had to do it again in the 4th end. So Stephanie's been in quite a bit of trouble most of the time she comes to throw. So this is one of the most pleasant situations that she's looked at for a lot of her ends.
Yeah, it looks like she's got 2, and looking at it from this angle, like, I don't think if she's right to the nose of her own, I don't think she gets 3. So I think she's got to get to the inside of it slightly, and she can't see the inside of it. So this is...
And you can't tap anything because you'll move
not very far, for sure.
You don't have a lot of room there to work with.
Here's the final stone for Stephanie Schmidt.
Still got a lot of room.
You got to curl it.
curling now.
Curl, Sarah. Line's great. Go. Go, Sarah.
Line's great, they say. Here they go.
Oh, they
just couldn't get it all the way there.
They kind of had to wait for it to curl a little bit, and they waited a little too long.
Yeah, that was Ashley Williamson and Sarah England on that sweep. Just missed it.
So 2 on the board for Michelle Englad's rink. That'll cut the lead 6-4.
That's the way to miss stuff.
And we'll go to the 10th end.
She could have given up one. Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Two's fine.
Yeah.
We'll take a short break. Okay, we'll come back. 10th end on the way. Bonus coverage on our opening draw of the 2024 Viterra Scotties in Tisdale.
I look for challenge. I'm not the type that seeks out something simple, something easy. I want to mold future technologies, have a say in the way the world works. You're paving the way for the future when you're working with emerging technology. But when you see your own project succeed, it really does give you a great sense of accomplishment. Working at SaskTel as a recent grad is an incredible opportunity to be exposed to different technology, different people, different environments, as well as to grow your own career.
Draw our featured game tonight. Penny Barker, a Moose Jaw 10-5 win over Sherry Anderson in Pool A. So Penny Barker 1-0 in our pool format. The top 2 teams from each pool will advance to the Page playoff on the weekend. Not a lot of room for error here. Michelle Englad's rink out of the Highland Curling Club in Regina, picking up 2 in the 9th. So without the hammer here in 10, down by 2. Have got to find a way to steal here against Skylar Ackerman of the Montana Club in Saskatoon.
Probably didn't get that first guard exactly where they would have liked it.
Yeah, I don't think it's touching center line, if that's what you mean.
It's halfway, too. How are you throwing the second guard to not leave an eventual double peel?
Yeah. You always want one either tight or long, and then the opposite, but not halfway.
Okay. Line's good.
Okay, long should be good. Sweep for tight.
Yeah. Want to go a bit for line. Okay.
And there is Michelle throwing the lead stones.
Got a lot of room here.
Michelle Englot rink. Yes, she throws lead stones, calls the game, and Stephanie Schmidt throws the final 2.
It's all right. Yeah.
I'm a little surprised they're doing it again. They called to come around on the first one. They're coming around again, and neither of those rocks touching the center line. I'm surprised she's not playing a tick on one of them. You gain nothing by drawing here.
Maybe they are playing the tick.
She signaled the come around.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, I think Skylar's been doing this all game, playing very aggressively. They've been putting some really good front rocks in. Kaylin Skinner's had a really strong game, and when your lead is putting those first rocks in front of the house, you're putting the pressure on. Now, this could be 10th end, a little adrenaline here going deep, and this is a bit of a mistake there for the Ackerman team.
We haven't talked about Skylar Ackerman. Obviously, it wasn't our featured game tonight, but she made the playoff last year. One of those 4 teams that made the playoff, lost to Sherry Anderson. So a name that we'll be probably hearing from throughout the week, I would imagine.
Yes,
hearing
line.
from throughout the week, and
Yes,
probably
line.
hearing from in the future. A nice young team that's got some years ahead of them,
Okay,
but
well,
they're coming in as the number 2 seed. They've had a strong year, not just on last year, but what they've done this year.
Well, we talked about that. They came in as the number 2 seed, but they also, just 2 weeks ago, won the Saskatchewan Women's Curling Tour Players Championship. And so they come in, as much as anybody can, they come in hot. They've played recently, won the event.
They're the highest ranked
team. It came in after it was after the cutoff. Yeah. Otherwise, they gained enough points from that. They would have been the #1 seed coming in.
They're the #1 Saskatchewan ranked team on the CTRS standings, the Canadian Team Ranking Systems, 15th in the country.
They have curled a lot. They have a very intense schedule. They're taking advantage of the. They're not working. They're students. They've got the time,
in
and
your early
they are
20s, late mid-20s. You got
no
a
family
real opportunity.
commitments, and they're very dedicated to the game. Every one of these girls has been involved since very young juniors. Ashley Williamson here now throwing.
Halfway. Okay, just over. Just to here. Little bit of curl. No. Let it come down. Just to you, Michelle. A little bit, Sarah. Sarah. Good.
Got that guard nicely lined up.
Go ahead. Good call on the weight.
Taylor Stremick looking to ideally remove 2 stones, but needs to lose a shooter, needs to lose that red rock that was just thrown by Ashley. Well done.
Yeah, we do. I kind of like one more though, Sarah.
Michelle doesn't like one more.
Does she like one more?
It comes down to a question of your timing here. You're going to play the freeze. You know they're going to peel the center guard. And then I guess you've got a bit of a decision to make. If you're Michelle, if you're playing it this early, do you play one more at the top of the house, or do you throw the second freeze and just hope they squeeze everything when they try to hit it?
Sarah England throwing third stones.
A little tight.
Okay, a little bit
For Michelle Englot's rink.
Want to go a little bit.
Yes, they've played together now for about 4 years. They've really clicked together as teammates. When Sarah joined Michelle Englot, when Sarah graduated from her junior career.
Good, Sarah. Okay.
Well, we were talking about curling experience and events that I've called, and one was the juniors in Melfort, and Sarah played at that junior in Melfort, I believe.
I kind of know that because I was their coach. So yes, it was, and it was Jessica Mitchell that Sarah England had to defeat in that junior finals. So we're seeing a lot of these juniors continuing along into their women's career.
2015?
16?
16.
Uh-oh.
Okay, your palms on
Just spins out of the rings, I think.
Yeah.
Well, they come up a little short on the freeze attempt, so they're going to have to throw a guard here. But that could have, if that rock stays in the rings, it's the kind of rock that at least would force them to throw their last one. And you could have been throwing it against 3.
Okay,
like that's when you got to steal 2 and you can't bury them both.
Okay, wait, guys.
Absolutely.
If you can make her look at 3.
Yeah.
Coming down. Halfway.
Got final
Right
stone
here.
right next door.
Nancy Anderson Nancy Martin looking to hold on to her 2-point lead here, looking at 2 red rocks that needs to remove. Gets rid of 1, just only needs to remove the 1 for a 7-6 final score over Shirley Orsted. Shirley's team played very well, but Nancy and her third, Lindsay Birch, had phenomenal games out there. Their hitting game was just outstanding. Everything Orsted tried and set up well, they had an answer for, and that's why Nancy came away with this victory.
Nancy was perfect right to the final in Estevan last year. Gets her 2024 Viterra Scotties off on the right foot with a win in our opening draw. Moves to 1-0 in Pool B.
Yeah, the team looks solid right from top to bottom on that game, so really strong start.
This is not a surprise. I was expecting this timeout call here because it's now, where do you want to put this rock? The stone that's on the corner of the button, because there's so much separation between that rock at the back of the 8-foot, there's going to be a play to remove it. You need to count 2 of the 3 rocks you got left, the one that's in the house, the 2 you've got left to throw.
Right.
Michelle Englot
Yeah, okay.
Down by 2 here in the 10th, throwing the red stones. Has the shot rock currently,
Yeah.
but without the hammer.
Yeah. I think I like this because then she hits that, and
Talking
then
about
we
the
got to
tap
go for
and
the
the
roll.
roll behind. That's not there. You're asking for a lot with one rock.
No, I think they're talking about whether you play the tap now or whether you just straight draw to the corner.
Yeah, I don't see the tap helping you.
Okay, we just have to be. We have to
they're-
make sure we're second.
Yeah, Michelle likes the straight draw.
Okay.
Well, the tap's the toughest shot you got left. You make the come around. You let her pick the one off the button. You might have to freeze the back one. It depends on where these
Depends where your
stop. But
first one
it's
is,
possible you might be able to just draw a second one around the corner and sit 2 that way and at least make her draw with her last one.
A final game on the ice here on day 1 of the 2024 Provincial Scotties, the Viterra Scotties. Stephanie Schmidt throwing skip stones for Team Englot.
Okay, guys, that 35, sir? Okay.
Need to find a way to steal 2. Force an extra.
Back 8, back 12 sounds a little heavy.
Okay, you're by.
You're halfway down and you haven't seen anybody even bend over yet. That's not a good sign. She can afford to be deep, leave yourself room to get a second one in, but she'd like to be second shot.
Sorry, guys.
I don't know if she is. I think it over curled
Don't
to be
think
second.
so.
Not
Just
quite.
a little deep.
No, we don't need to, but then you're sitting 2. How do they win?
Well, you can end the game with a double, or you can just hit and flop over there.
Sure. This is a straight side here, so pretty well where you have to hit
I think, too, those draws over to the sides late in a game like that, the 10th end, you know, all your play's been into the middle for most of the ends, and now all of a sudden, you know, you're going out in a new place on the ice, and we see that quite a bit where those draws around a corner in the 9th, 10th ends tend to go a little deep on you because we just haven't played out there that often.
So the first of 2 for Skylar Ackerman here in the 10th end. Curling out of the Nutana Club in Saskatoon.
Only thing she's really got to be worried about here is it over curl, so I don't think she'll be light here.
Yep. Yep. Hard. Hard. Really hard, Caitlin. Push hard. Hard. Any roll.
They're on it.
Sit.
1, and it'll sit right on top.
But whose shot?
Does it
kind of important?
Well, it is, but I mean, Steph's going to throw the same shot she just threw anyway. If she has to come to the corner of that and move it 2 inches, the same throw would move it 2 inches, and she's sitting 2.
They hardly move that. Right? No. Because we got to hit it.
Yeah,
Just
same
that
everything?
same everything.
Okay.
Same
The
everything.
final stone coming for
Same
Stephanie
everything.
Schmidt. They'll have the morning off tomorrow in the afternoon draw. We'll play Jessica Mitchell out of Saskatoon.
If you don't know, it's okay. It wasn't a good. Okay. Just same thing. Okay. Thanks, everything. We're playing. We got to move theirs. There, we are not shot.
Mandy Seltzer of Balgony wasn't on the ice tonight. Will be in the morning against Skylar Ackerman, 9 a.m.
Yeah, centimeter.
That is a tough spot for the, I think it's the bottom 4 seeds, as it turns out in this event, is they didn't get to play on the opening day. And I'm sure some of them sitting back probably watching this at the hotel and realizing, oh, this is quick. I mean, they saw it a little bit in practice earlier today, but it's not the same as playing that opening draw.
Yeah, some of those
Okay,
teams
close,
were here this evening watching the first 3 or 4 ends just to
Close
get a
for
sense
line.
of what was going on out here. And
Close for line. Line's pretty good.
Final stone for Stephanie Schmidt.
Wall! Just for weight. Just
Needs to touch that Yellowstone just a little bit.
Yes!
But you got to move it to sit too.
Hard!
Oh,
Did you move it enough?
needed another inch,
Not a girl.
I think.
Okay.
No, maybe she did.
Good call, Michelle.
At least enough that you'd hang around to measure it.
Thanks to make it fun.
Well, you might call for the measure. I don't know if you'd hang around. Let him measure it, but I'll be in the dressing room. I think we've lost. It is close enough. It forces Skylar's at least going to have to throw her stone. You can't just assume on this one. She can make things much simpler here. A quicker end to the night if she just puts this on the button, and then they don't have to pull the measuring stick out.
The final stone for Skylar Ackerman out of the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon.
Line's good. Just bite the 4. Easy. Just bite the 4.
Brushes were cleaning early, but they've backed
Early,
away
I
now.
thought it was a really powerful release there from Skylar.
Well, it took forever to start to get back to the center line, and out in the wings it slides a little better, but it does slow down enough at the back.
Will slow down enough. Skylar Ackerman in Pool B.
Saves the crew from having to bring out the measuring stick.
It makes for a quicker end.
Picks up an opening night win in our coverage of the Viterra Scotties from Tisdale. Fun night throughout, and final thoughts on our featured game, which saw Penny Barker put 10 on the board and pick up an opening night win on a really great evening.
Yeah, not a perfectly played game by their team. There were opportunities both ways, but I think maybe the bigger point there is that when Barker had the opportunities to put points on the board, she made those shots, and when Sherry had the chance to put points on the boards, they just couldn't make that last rock. It was just one of those games. The amount I'm sure that'll be part of their discussion, perhaps in the patch, about the amount of points that they left on the ice. A deuce in the first, 4 later on, and I think there was another deuce that just all missed on last rock, if I remember correctly. So it's encouraging for Anderson's team going forward, because they know that they played well enough to put points on the board. They just didn't finish those ends.
Just didn't finish it off, that's right.
So Penny Barker, Nancy Martin in Pool A pick up opening night wins. Jessica Mitchell, Skylar Ackerman in Pool B, both 1-0. Back on the air tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. 4 more games on the ice here in Tisdale. Until then, on behalf of Kim and Susan and Sean, our producer, Carrie Tarasoff, I'm Darren DuPont. Thanks for watching our coverage of the 2024 Viterra Scotties, and we'll say goodnight from Tisdale.